Hello, everybody. Coco is running all over me. Hello, honey. What you doing? Come here. Come here. You go up here. Kid, go up on the arm. I'll get you over to your tree. Ready? We're going to go over to your tree. Here we go. Here we go. Over to your tree. Over to your tree. Oh, you're hooked on my thing. You're hooked on my thing. Go up into your tree. I don't know how to do this. She's pulling my headphones down from underneath. Go ahead, go up in your tree. Oh, you're tangled on the wire. Okay, that didn't work out at all. Hello, everybody. Good day to all of you. It is Saturday. Is it Friday yet? Coco wants out already. Give me 2 seconds. She was locked away all day. I thought she'd want to come in here. You want out? You want out? I'll let you out. There you go. Bye. She's out. I thought she'd want to spend time with her father, but she hates me. I embarrass her. I don't know why. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? We have a Mario I don't know what you even call these things. What are these things called? Whatever these things are called. I got this gigantic one. It's the size. Look how big it is. It is bigger than a full-size bottle of whiskey, which we obviously have right in front of us to drink. So we will be having a shot or two. Vero, I saw you just put 652. I didn't see it until after, and I put it up, and I'm like, 653 looks like it makes sense. So being as I don't want to correct the time, Vero was right, 652. I had it at 652, and before I read the comments, I was like, I wonder if I could stretch an extra second. Like, I always want to see, like, exactly when it ends. I might be able to stretch a couple more seconds, but 653 apparently worked. So both would have worked, but being as I don't want to reset the clock, let's just go with that. I'm setting the clock itself. Show door. Those of you who don't know, we had to reschedule from yesterday because I had to do arcade stuff. My business partner is in Europe, so I had to cover at the arcade, and I got home, it was around 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I was like, should I jump on 6:30, 8 o'clock? I was like, even if we start by 8, we're only going to do to the break. And there's like, being as we're starting from like nearly the 7-minute mark, I think it only goes to like 1:40. So there's about an hour and a half that we're going to do to the break. And then we're going to take a break and we'll reconvene next week, or maybe we'll do a Patreon. I don't know. But we're going to only do half. So I was like, if we start at 8, we feasibly still could be done by 9:45. But I was like, I don't know, that might be a little late, and it's last minute, and there's no notice to anybody. So I was like, let's just roll with it tomorrow. If you don't know, if you're not a fan of football, the Chiefs play at 4:30. So I'm going to finish this with you guys, take about 2 hours, give or take. We'll be done no later than 3 o'clock with this. Then I got to run to the arcade, check in on them, finish editing a video, and then watch the Chiefs game at 4:30. Those of you who also don't know, yesterday Severance Season 2 started. I watched it, and I was getting so into the edit that it was taking me forever to finish. So I have like 20 minutes of that to finish editing to post on YouTube. I'm going to post it on YouTube and Patreon. We'll get the full as usual, but it will have a YouTube video. Only Season 2. I did Season 1 in full, but I binge watched it, so I didn't have a chance to edit any of that up. So, that being said, after we're done with this, I just got to finish an edit, run to the arcade, and then I take the rest of the day off to watch football. There's a game on 4:30 and a game on at, I think, 7:30, 8 o'clock. But who are you rooting for? I bet on the Chiefs. I don't have a preference as far as people. My team is out. My team didn't even make the playoffs. I'm a massive New Orleans Saints fan, if you didn't know. But my team didn't even make the playoffs. We were eliminated mathematically like 2-3 weeks before the end of the regular season. So we had a miserable season. Started off, go look it up, the New Orleans Saints started off the first 2 weeks, best team in football. After week 2, going into week 3, the New Orleans Saints were favored to go the distance and were the number 1 team in football. Week 3. the beginning of week 3. Then they became like the worst team in football. They lost like every game after that. So they gave me high hopes and teased me and ended up doing a whole lot of nothing except breaking my heart. So that is what happened in football. But I still watch all the games. I still love it. I have an account where I bet and I pull money out. This year so far I'm up over $2,000 and I only bet like 50 to $100 a game. I'm up over 2,000. I already cashed out and I'm playing with house money now. So I had about $180 left and I put it all on the Chiefs. That's the most amount of money I bet on a game all year. I've had years where I bet 500 to 1,000 a game, way back when I was in college and I was a degenerate gambler. But this week was the most I ever bet on a game this year. And it was $180. All I had left. I threw it on the Chiefs. I'm like, if I win, I'll keep betting till the Super Bowl. And if I lose, I'm done. And I'll just watch football and enjoy my life. Let's say hi to everybody, though. We got Alina. Is that Elena? I think it's Elena. Elena? Maybe it's Elena. I know I've seen you before. I don't know why I'm confusing the name. I am up to date with Critical Role since 5 years, but I have never catch anything from them live, as it mostly starts at 5 a.m. Friday for me. Yes, a lot of people have told me that are overseas and stuff that it's a struggle to watch late night live streams that I normally do. So this does help some people. I know Michael is here probably. I didn't see Michael. I actually don't see Michael. Michael said he had to go to work at, I think, 2:45. But honestly, if we start in the next 10 minutes, we'll be done by 2:45. Like I said, there's only about an hour and a half that we're doing to the break. So if we started like right now, we'd be done by 1:35 or 2:35. I think Michael said he's got to leave 2:45. I could be wrong, but I honestly don't see Michael, so I don't know. Hello, Neil. Hello, Star. Vero G, my moderator. Lesa Pocky, the Dude JB, and Michael, my other moderators. If you are out there, we love you as well. Hollymax79. Alina, and whoever else is out there. I don't see anybody else yet in the chat, but I'm throwing up my other like. Surprisingly, we have already gotten, well, we did post it early, but we're already halfway on the likes. So I'm going to put up my second account. I am going to like the video, and that will actually put us at exactly 25, I'm pretty sure. I think that gives us exactly 25. If it, there we go, 26. Now we broke it because somebody else added a like. So, first off, does anybody, let me read the comments, but before I read the comments, is this going to be like, well, it says right there, Arc 1, episodes 1 through 25. So are they going to go arc by arc? I'm assuming. I also saw, it looked like Marisha was hosting. I don't know if that's a fact because I went a little bit ahead and it looked like Marisha was sitting in Matt's chair. So I'm not 100% sure if that is correct. But if it is, then it looks like Marisha is hosting. If we hit 50 likes, which we're honestly doing very good already on, we will do bonus time. You guys know the deal if you haven't known the deal. If we hit 50 likes, we do bonus time. So for now, we already have an hour and a half. Let's see where we go from there. Not looking forward to the next couple of days. Going to be really, really cold. I saw that Hollymac. I saw it was like dipping around here. It was dipping like into the teens or the single digits, and snow tomorrow. It was saying snow tomorrow starting around noon or 1, going all the way through the day. Ridiculously cold temperatures. So that's not great. It probably is 32 ounces. Put it this way. I filled it from bottom to top with ice, and then I was able to put 2 full Gatorades in it with room to spare, and that's with the ice. I don't know what those little they're not the big Gatorades. They're like the little handy size ones that you get in the cases at Costco. I'd want to say they're probably 12 ounces. But if I fit 2 of them, and it barely went to like here. 2 full Gatorades, went to here, and that was with this thing filled to the brim with ice. And you know, ice obviously takes up, room. So my guess is 32 ounces kind of makes sense. I wouldn't be surprised if it's more than that, honestly. It probably says on the bottom, but I'm afraid I'm going to spill it. 40 ounces, it does say. I was going to say, because if it's I'm pretty sure the little bottles are 12. That's 24 ounces right there. I know there's more than 8 ounces of ice. It's like filled with ice. So 40 ounces, it says on the bottom. 40 ounces, a big boy. We got a big boy. This thing will like last me all day. I love it. Jesse got it for me for Christmas. Or maybe it was Santa, but I know Jesse is Santa. So, we are already to 31 likes. Is there anything important in the chat? I read Alina's already. Then a high of -1. Tomorrow, high of -4, not including the wind chill. That's Wisconsin for you. Wisconsin, I think I've said this many times. One of my best friends growing up, we used to go out drinking every night. His parents moved out of state and he couldn't afford to live in Jersey anymore. He went to Wisconsin. He said it was, I'm pretty sure, Michigan, Wisconsin. It might have been Michigan. No, Detroit, Wisconsin. No, it was Wisconsin. It was Wisconsin. Pretty sure it was Wisconsin. He went out there. He said it was very affordable, but it was also like every morning you had to watch a news channel to determine whether or not you could walk outside without getting frostbite within like 10 seconds. And he was like born and raised in Jersey like me. So granted, Jersey gets cold occasionally, but not like that kind of cold. So he went from like Jersey cold to like having to check the weather to see if he'd die that day. So I'm pretty sure it was Wisconsin that he went to. Stayed there for like a year or two. But Neil knows him. I'm talking about Bobby. Neil and me used to go drinking with Bobby all the time. Since he has moved back to Jersey and lives not too far from me, probably like 15 minutes away. And he said it was great, but the cold was just like a lot to get used to. So everybody, are you all good? If that is F, it's much worse than here. If that is F, obviously that I'm reading that wrong or something. I have to blow my nose because I do have to blow my nose. The Northern Lion, I did not see the Northern Lion in there. Bidet J and Coco. I saw the Coco and I was like, Coco. I'm like, oh, the cat. So, like, why don't we start? We haven't had a shot in like 2 weeks. I had breakfast already, and football is coming. I'm not going to go nuts, but like maybe we'll do a shot or two just to get things rolling. So cheers, everybody. I'm going to pour a nice little light shot. I told myself I'm allowed to drink on weekends, so being as we didn't do the live stream last night and we're doing it today, it is a trick that I can pull on myself to have a drink with you guys. Raisa Costa is here. Where I live in Brazil is around 90 degrees right now. Dear Lord, I am jealous. Fahrenheit. F is Fahrenheit. I am an idiot. I literally like saw the F and assumed it was like a curse word or a mess up. Fahrenheit. I'm an idiot. Sorry. I have it on Celsius. So tomorrow is -15 for me. F is Fahrenheit. Yes. I honestly haven't thought about Fahrenheit or Celsius in so long. I literally thought F was a typo or a cuss word. But everybody, are you ready? Is anybody new in the chat? First off, anybody new in the chat, you get this shot dedicated to you. We almost have 20 strong in the chat. I'm happy to see we're already over 30 likes. We need 19 more likes and we get bonus time. So there's a very strong chance we're getting bonus time. But is anybody new in the chat? Wants this shot dedicated to him? Star, I said hi to you, right? Dealing with a Vinny problem? I'm distracted. Star, I'm pretty sure I said hi to you. Bub Dad, I want to hang out with you. And yes, I did. A poor man. Let me read some of Star's comment. Some people I'd like to watch live streams are on the West Coast, so they start at 7-ish, their time zone, but midnight here, so I get it. And yes, I did a poor math thing. It's more like 11 here or 10, but for 8-hour streams, it's no difference because I can't get up all night. Blah, 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 blah. Hello, everybody. I am probably not going to be able to enjoy my mics on the stream. Vinny, you just got in trouble. Vinny, behave yourself, or we will cancel this stream right now. I'm just joking, Vinny. You do. Well, I'm not going to say do whatever you want to do because maybe that's bad. Vinny, we love you. Vinny, you are loved. This is to Vinny. Vinny, this is peanut butter juice. Here we go. Cheers to peanut butter juice. Shane Barron in the chat. Welcome, Shane. I'm waiting for Ninja and some other people, but we're going to start right after this shot. So cheers to everybody. Happy Saturday. We have an hour and a half to go unless we have 50 likes. All right, everybody. We're jumping in. Ready to go? Here we go. We're going to 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1, go. Come together right now. Oh, it's going to be loud. Hold up a sec.
Yes, he did. He did. He invented the welcome back. Yeah. We're doing this campaign wrap up a little differently than last time. We're going to kind of do it as a round table discussion with the 8 of us here. You know, answer each other's burning questions, answer the fans'
I'm going to have
questions,
almost full screen until further notice.
Yeah, check on some of the fantastic guests we've had over the course of the campaign as well. It's
all right, everybody, we're in
episodes.
to wrap up. Why are these subtitles so
which
small?
Is bananas.
Well, it was like 6 episodes.
This shit is bananas.
Yes.
You're not wrong.
I will be lightly steering this roundtable discussion, making sure we get through as much as possible, and that we don't spend 3.5 hours talking about Bullgate.
Although that would not be wasted.
Bullgate.
We could talk a lot about it.
We should spend more time in that.
Yeah.
She immediately brings up Bullgate.
We didn't spend enough in it.
We've only just begun.
Bullgate. Good old
yeah.
Bullgate. We
So
had
here we
our
are, guys.
moments with Bullgate as well
Arc
in
one.
this on this
All the
channel,
way
I
back.
should say.
At the circus.
Okay,
So is each person, maybe each
so
person's going to host its own arc? Or an arc, I should say.
Oh, damn, you didn't waste any
I'm thinking
time.
we're going to each have an arc.
Are we allowed to know that still?
Can I peek and
get
look?
to know that?
Can I peek a little?
Well,
Oh no, it looks like Marisha's
last one
running
just
with
died.
this.
So
Last one just... No!
He said
told
one
you.
died every
It
time
looks like
he asked
Marisha's
a
doing the whole
question.
thing.
You
We're
just
not
asked
actually
a question.
playing.
Oh.
The universe is paused.
no, there are people on the council.
I'll kill them all right now by repeatedly asking.
Answer?
Who was on the Tal'dorei Council?
In memoriam.
Monkey.
Why did we do that? Like
I
black and white
find it odd.
characters that have died in our campaign.
That's actually pretty great.
I find it
We'll
odd
do
that
in
Matt
post.
is replaced Marisha.
Yeah,
like they're
all dead now.
switched.
Next question.
Oh, so we can't know yet. We really can't know, huh?
Just give us one.
I thought you
Think about it
given us...
before the end. By the end.
Okay.
We get to ask him once an arc.
Yeah.
One question per arc.
Now what do we do?
I want to start where we ended, which was with Mollymauk. So I want to know how much you knew about Lucian and how much of your character build did Matt take or add to
I should have
it?
probably
I
wore
agree.
a Mighty Knight shirt, being as this is the wrap up. I totally forgot that I was just wearing
So-
my yellow jackets because I was doing
I
reactions.
wrote nothing that was previous of waking up in the ground. Anything that would happen before waking up in the ground, I was nothing. Nothing. No name, no history, no nothing. It was completely blank. Started exactly from the moment that Molly woke up in the ground, found the carnival, and took off from there. There was not a thing before it.
Was the pitch for you? I want to make it all up as I go from a complete blank slate, because that's what it felt like in the best way.
There's the clock.
So, oh boy.
What was the infamous Starbucks conversation that you guys talked about?
So
Yeah. There was...
it was during the tattoo incident, if you all recall.
Oh, yeah.
And like we went to go get Starbucks across the street.
Oh, wait.
that far back?
When we were all getting our tattoos?
Yeah.
Yeah. You already have one tattoo.
Wild.
We all got tattoos, by the way.
Wait. Yeah,
Surprise.
Wait, in real life?
that was far back.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wasn't
that
sure
was
what they. I honestly
Yeah, we
was like, wait,
started
in real
and
life
finished
they all got
Box Mountain.
tattoos?
Have we started
I thought they were
leaving
talking
Mighty
about
Nine
like
yet?
Don't
the
think so.
Orly
No.
tattoos for a second.
No. We had just wrapped. We had just wrapped Box
So
Mountain.
you went to a
Right.
generic coffee shop and started talking.
Generic, non-branded coffee shop.
This was the character I had started coming up with when Percy died. I was like, I've got a great idea for a character if Percy didn't come back, and this was the character I was going to bring in.
I remember people
And
have told me this.
It was kind of a seed that started because a friend of ours asked me about mermaids, and a friend who is obviously a mermaid fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and was like, I want your take on mermaids. Go do a bunch of research on mermaids, and then I want to hear you talk about mermaids for a thing I'm working on. And mermaids are fucked.
Yeah,
Holy
they are.
shit. And then it kind of crossed into my
I
whole
just
feelings
have been
on
watching Once Upon a
alignment
Time,
issues,
and I'm
which
on
I
the
don't-
arc where
I mean,
Ariel
they're great
comes
if you I'm
And the
not
mermaids
dissing
are
alignment.
freaky.
I hate alignment though
They're like
personally.
scary,
and I got into a discussion of I want
nightmarish
something that
things
breaks
like Once
alignment
Upon a Time.
entirely.
Not
and so I
Ariel,
wanted to make a character that had
the other mermaids.
no alignment to the point that if I picked up a weapon that used alignment, like only chaotic evil or something, it wouldn't work. Just no matter what, it wouldn't work. And it
They all
eventually
have
just came
Vox
to the idea
Machina
of,
tattoos.
I want a body
up
that
to
the soul left
37.
and
Yeah,
the
we're at
body just kept
38
moving.
now. 38
Just-
likes, everybody.
Just whatever
I think,
was in there got
37.
pulled out,
Maybe
went to the Raven
38
Queen, and the
possibly.
body just continued walking. And just no, kind of like the mermaid, like the idea of like no soul, none of that weird, no chaotic god elements or anything, just somebody who is a total blank slate.
And
Yep,
the
we're at
tattoo.
38.
Oh,
I don't know
wow.
why it was
Eyes
a
and
little
the
delayed on mine.
tattoos.
38 likes,
Coming up
12
with
more
shit.
to go. Ridiculous
And
how
he
fast we
just
got
took
there.
that and ran?
Yeah, woke up with
he gave me a backstory. He said he woke up in the ground with 9 red eye tattoos on his body.
Get the
That's
fuck
odd.
out of
And
here.
So it all
That's
started
It's a fucking gift.
as
And
nothing.
did you take the 9 tattoo eyes and you're like, that's gonna be the big bad of the campaign?
Kinda, yeah. I had ideas. Like a lot of the themes in the campaign dealt with dreams and like the power of dreams, the influence
like,
they
Matt
have on people through,
can
instilling terror,
think, like, this is where it
inspiration,
could
for
go,
driving
but,
people
like,
to create or become
to
something
have
larger, or
Tal'dorei
keep them,
just go from
tied
nothing-
through trauma and experience and like all this. So dreams were a big. Like through, if you notice throughout the campaign, I used dreams a lot for interactions with deities and gods and powerful figures. Yeah. Like that was very much a thing that I rooted before we even started playing. And then when he gave me his backstory, I was like, okay, I'll find a way to work this in. And then as we began to like start the campaign and go forward, like I had an idea for some of them and things, but tying it specifically to Molly's story kind of happened fairly early in the campaign. The more I thought about it, I was like, that'd be kind of a fun thing to deal with.
So if Molly hadn't died, it still would have come in the same sort of way. We would just sort of dealt with
Correct.
that soul in a different way.
Well, how I initially had planned it was that Lucian, the original soul that was in Molly's body, after being shattered, found its way back, but had to go into another body and is trying to get the original body with the 9 eyes back. And so it was going to be, what was this movie? There was this old, I want to say Denzel Washington movie about like this killer spirit that would transition from body
talking
to body
about
through touch.
Fallen.
I can't. It
One
was
of
a
my
film from, like, the
favorite
late 90s
movies
or something.
John Goodman.
October.
Yeah, sure.
How dare no one know
But
this?
anyway, I wanted
Fallen
Lucian to be this like spirit that
is
would
an
jump
amazing
from person
movie.
to person and was like a
John
recurring
Goodman
antagonist trying to
is in
find a
it.
way to
Denzel Washington
to kill
is hunting
Molly,
down
to take the body
an
back,
entity
or find a way to remove Molly
that can
from the body
touch
so he could take it
people
back, and
and
that was
go
going to
from
be kind
body
of like
to
a
body.
smaller ongoing
Amazing
villain
movie.
until eventually
I can't
things
believe
like
none of them
some
know
them
this.
got
All of you
revealed,
need to go out right now and
then
watch
Molly
Fallen.
died. Was like, fuck. Or yeah, and so I just kind of let it simmer in the background for
11
a long time.
away.
And
Yeah,
it took a long
we're
time
40,
for you guys to go
40
back and check on
solid.
the
40
body or
likes,
check on the
everybody.
gravesite.
10 more to go.
And so I was like, whenever they go back,
usually they don't move, so that's why.
If you're jumping in late, we're watching half of the wrap up. We're going to go to the break.
I got a
We got
question
about
just
an hour and a
because it's
half
been burning
from here, give or take.
in my head for a while.
If we hit 50
anyone had
likes,
ever
bonus
cast
time.
Detect Undead around Molly, what
Pretty
would have
much
happened?
almost there. 8 likes away
wouldn't
from
have
bonus
not
time.
technically undead.
Okay, I was
We
wondering if
got
it was like a
there
I know like
fast.
that halfway thing that popped up.
The hollow one?
Yeah, the hollow.
No, the hollow one was kind of a halfway.
Sure.
Did they?
It was
I
a
see you said they
halfway
got Vox
inspiration from
Machina
Molly's
tattoos.
story, but was
Did
also
they all
intended
get
to be kind of a cool
identical
way to introduce
tattoos?
an undead archetype
Is it like
for
the Vox
races in the
Machina,
game,
like
and
thing?
and a
Like
pseudo
VM?
red herring?
That was
for
nice.
Molly's backstory, because like I knew everyone was gonna be looking and pouring through the book on that, and I was like, let me put this in there because I want to do it anyway. It's fun, and because people are gonna start thinking that that's where it comes from, which I think you did as well.
I was like, is this what you did? I mean, because yeah, we had that long conversation. And
Yeah.
I love the idea of like there's nothing in there, that it's just total blank slate.
And the Hollow Man was Jimmy Costco, right?
Yeah, the hollow one was Jimmy Costco. Yes.
Do we ever
Jimmy
figure out where the fuck he
Costco.
came from or what his deal was?
Is that this arc? We're not allowed to talk about that.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting
I
ahead of
forgot.
myself.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I
It's
forgot about
loosey-goosey,
Jimmy
it's
Costco.
fine.
Okay, I was just checking.
As soon as they said the name,
must
part
have
of me was
something
like, was that
burning.
even
Yeah,
from?
no,
I feel
I
like
wanted to find
we've
out
been
more
watching
about
this so long.
Travis's
Part of me didn't
character,
even
Ford
know.
Stone.
I knew it was Critical Role, but I would have
know what?
almost thought it was Vox Machina or
Do
something.
you have a last name? Do you know more about yourself that you never told us? Where did you meet Ukato? Was it a singles bar? What?
Yeah, we never really like found everything out about that, did we?
No, I talk about the
Jiminy
fucking dream
Costco. It's
sequences.
such a good
That was the.
name.
Did we ever have in the first campaign a moment where everybody left the table except for one person?
No, that was invented.
We had that with you and the Raven Queen in campaign 1.
Yes.
Oh, that's true. We did. Okay.
But that was like the first time it had happened.
I was really glad that happened to Liam before. Did not like being the first.
Those guys.
He has. I have an idea of the two races that make up Ford's.
We are
lineage.
5 likes away. I mean, at this point, I'm pretty much guaranteeing we're at 50. I'm sure Michael will probably jump in at some point.
I don't know who they are. I don't know in his pocket if mom or dad was one or the other,
keep liking.
or where
if
they
we hit
went,
more,
or what happened, or what those circumstances were. I kind of left that
Once
up to
we surpass 50,
Matt.
we do extra bonus time.
And I
It's
imagine
just
at some point.
usually
I'll
it takes
try
most of
and
the stream
go
to
back
get to
and
50.
right the wrongs of that orphanage, because there was a shit criminal underbelly at the orphanage. They were using the orphans to like make goods and using orphan labor and all this stuff. And there were like the Myriad and the Clovis Concord.
I'm gonna sit here
it could have been
and
any
eat
one
my
of those like
friggin'
seedy
sandwich.
underbellies, but
Things too
probably go
tense
back
here.
and
Have your sandwich
purge that
start.
at some point.
Sit,
would Ford go back
focus,
and
chill out,
clean it
have
up?
some
Oh, yeah.
sandwich.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
your
yeah.
sandwich star?
We're
What
gonna
kind of
scroll that
sandwich we
squeaky
talking
clean.
here?
But I actually don't know how the pack happened.
I was about to make a
I left
sandwich
that up to him as well.
before
Well,
I
the name
started the
Stone-
live stream, and I'm like, I'll eat when I'm
you
done.
just threw in your backstory and forgot about.
I've been having a lot of
It was the very first
Italian
backstory I
cold
gave
cuts
you, and
lately.
I'd never said it.
Yep.
There's a whole thing of prosciutto.
So there was no real
the
significance.
Parma,
Everyone tied it with like
imported
there's the
prosciutto in
play
my
in the
fridge
Stone
with
family.
cheese.
Is he tied? I was like,
Favorite cold
Nah.
cut ever.
Yeah,
prosciutto.
I remember introducing myself. I was like, "Well, that's a name that was given to him at the orphanage, and they'd give like shit names." And I was like, "Well, I just won't say it. It's not mine. I don't claim any ownership to it." I just fucking forgot.
Amazing.
Love it.
Yeah, no. I remember.
Is
looking
there
at
a
Dawson and
reason?
being
I
like,
don't feel like they said
mean,
there was a reason, but
that can't just
like,
be a coincidence.
why
It's like,
did
nothing is a
Marisha take over? They didn't really like give like they
if this show
acknowledged it, but they didn't really explain why Marisha
everything's
is
a coincidence.
running it.
Yeah, for
Because she's really not controlling anything. She's kind of just sitting there, and Matt is still kind of just doing all the talking and dictating the course of
Vandren had
everything.
entirely.
It's just interesting to me. He might as well have just sat in his chair.
Like it was the final vestiges of that relationship, and then when the ship went down. And
Don't
Vandren was set
overthink it,
to
Adam
drown,
Espinosa.
essentially,
Welcome.
survived.
Hello.
That was the final cutoff. The Sword of Fathoms fell into the ocean.
Adam, you got
to be
work
lost
tonight
forever.
or today?
And Okutoa went like.
I feel like sometimes you have work on Saturday afternoons, if I'm correct.
Do we have a deal? And in that like floundering moment of panic and self-preservation, subconsciously Ford agreed to something and couldn't remember. And that's when he woke up on the shore with the Sword of
Gormley.
Fathoms.
Marisha is
I
the
don't know
creative
if,
director and usually
Sabian,
keeps the show
the guy
on
that set off the
track. Got
explosion in the
it.
ship
Got
was
it. It's just a
working
casual
for
thing.
Okutoa or one of the.
That's what I kind of figured. I wasn't sure if there was
factions or
like
whatever, so
something I
figured out,
missed that specifically
And
explained why.
We'll figure that out.
No,
maybe,
no
with
reason
a
why it
fan
shouldn't be.
question.
I'm just like
We probably won't.
confused, not confused by it, but it's just different. I'm used to
decide who's
Matt
gonna
being up
ask
in
the
that
fan
area
question. I think we should roll for
forever.
it.
3-4 years
Why
of
not
watching
gamify it?
everything.
Oh, like with our.
Yeah.
With our dice.
No work
Whoever
for
rolls
Adam,
the highest
but I
gets to
also
ask a
just
fan
want
question.
you to focus more
4.
on
I
the
just rolled a
Q&A.
natural 20.
Natural 20.
There you go.
Didn't roll many of those during the campaign.
Natural 20.
Save it to the end.
Saved it for
All right, let's see
the
here.
non-campaign. Here we go. Question.
Oh my god.
Question.
I mean, I think this is a question. This is a question for Matt.
And of course, it starts with a question for Matt.
Or no, from @Prying Blackbird. Who was the skeleton in the basement of the leaky tap, and was Claudia Sheed truly who she said she was?
Yes.
Okay.
Skeleton in the basement.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I don't know who Claudia Sheed is.
Yeah, I don't know who Claudia Sheed is. Honestly, I don't know. I'm happy Sam said that because I'm like, who is Claudia Sheed?
yeah, very very beginning.
The skeleton in the basement I am aware of. I remember that.
Did a whole little like, "Rah, rah, rah, I'm going crazy and talking to you, and that body belonged to somebody.
That's what the shackles were, right?
Yes.
Shackle number 1.
I'm trying to remember. You guys, I feel like I remember you guys knew that Claudia was using illusion magic, correct?
Yes.
Sure.
No. Yes. I think we did.
It's been 3 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, Claudia.
I remember the
It's
skeleton.
had a different name, if I remember,
remember
my
the
old notes,
skeleton.
which I don't. Was from the dynasty, or at least originated from the dynasty. Was Dark Elf. and was a refugee from some of the conflicts of the dynasty, and came here seeking refuge underneath the leaky tap. And the previous owner, who I can't remember his name, basically was like, "I'll take care of you." He was a terrible person, and basically like kept her in indentured servitude, and was just like an abusive owner of this inn. And then eventually she got fed up with it, killed him.
Oh my God.
That body belonged to him, hid it, and then through the gentleman, managed to get forged documents that gave her ownership over the inn.
Oh
and so
my
she became,
God.
She basically took it over from the guy that was an asshole.
Good for her.
Which was
Good
for
for
her.
her.
That might
Way
have come
to
up,
be.
but you guys have stuff to do. I'm glad we got to talk about it now.
All right.
Damn,
So it was an interesting story. It didn't really relate to anything
Dead skeleton in
other
the
than
basement.
dead skeleton in the basement.
Before we move
question.
on from here, I have
A dead,
one
as
question
opposed
as
to
well.
I mean,
up until like the
I guess you
second
could
last
have a
episode, I was
living
tempted at some
skeleton
point
and things
to,
like
in a
this.
quiet moment, to take out the sending stone that I carried for almost the entire campaign that we got in our heist job shit. Right around the time when Ford held the sword to Caleb's throat in the other house, we found a sending stone.
But just one.
Just one.
Yeah.
Who did that go to?
Oh yeah.
Almost talked into it like 10 times over the course of the entire campaign and never did because I'd get sidetracked.
No, fair enough. I'm trying to remember who.
That was when we were trying to set up the
judge.
Marius.
That was in the
Right,
Marius
yeah.
LaPaul.
Yeah,
And some merchants.
Poor
in
Marius.
some
Marius
merchants'
had
home.
a rough go
that
of
was
things.
at
Marius
the
LaPaul.
brain
A
is
little
falling
dark.
apart now at this point.
But
No,
the
not
story
Marius.
that went but a story that went undiscovered. Oh, Lisa Pocky, welcome.
No, it was Sutan. It was the.
I said
I
shouted you out earlier. I don't know if you were here yet. I said if you're in the background
At
lingering.
least the family line did.
But hello, now that you're actually here. We're 4 likes away
Yes.
from bonus time, by the way.
We didn't know.
4 likes
Let me look at my notes
away.
here and find
Throw
where-
up a like if you haven't.
I know I
It
can
is
find
very
like there's some of these
likely
things are kind of out
that
of it a
will
long
hit the
time.
likes. It is
People
very likely.
poorly
we'll hit
remembering
likes.
things.
Yeah. If Liam tried to talk into the sending stone, would you have to go through all of your notes, or would you have like in game like gone, this is taking too long, I'll just come up with something?
I would have gone to break and then and then come back. No, I want to say
We talked about this because they had something commissioned. Oh no, he also had the. We bought the.
She just saying. Was she just
Was it the
doing
the
the
Ring
girl
of Fire
from
Resistance was supposed to be
Ipanema?
for Lord
Is that how
Sutan,
what it's called?
and then we bought it
The
because he
girl
never came to
from
pick it up because he got arrested.
Because he's super in jail.
Is
Yes.
that the
Because he's
word?
super-
Ipanema? I've heard that's a
Super in
word,
jail.
weird word.
Big
Baked it into a
time
cake.
in jail.
I mean, I know it's a place.
While Matt looks it up, should we do
yeah.
another
So sorry,
fan question?
I'm almost there.
All right.
I'm going through the old notes.
Well,
We
while
have
Matt
for each
We
other.
do. There's one
searches for
Ashley.
3 years.
All right, new question.
Here,
While Matt
let's
looks,
roll. Let's roll. Fan question.
Oh yeah, roll.
everyone's rolling. Fan questions.
Oh, super not me.
11.
Ugh, 5.
No, 6.
13.
13.
Ask yourself a
Ashley.
question.
think-
Sam, you got it.
No, you had an 11.
You did too.
I had a 7.
Oh fuck.
All right. Ashley
I was all
technically
comfortable.
won
Ashley!
twice.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
I feel like Ashley should get another
I'll
one.
tell you
found
afterwards.
out.
I did.
Too late.
Tell us.
After this question.
After this question.
After this question, at Elena Danielle asks, "What do
That's
you
funny
envision
because I was
Yasha
saying
doing in
Alina.
her times away from
was
the
very
Nine
close to the name I was
that weren't
trying to pronounce
explained
earlier.
in the show?"
Oh, well, you know. I think.
Had to be something important. You kept leaving.
Ashley gets to talk
yeah, it was
anyway.
certainly
I thought we were going to
something.
skip over
You
Ashley.
would wander off in the carnival.
We get her
Yeah,
anyway.
I think, I think. Let me wing it.
Just made it, Colvin. What is
check my
up?
notes, actually.
We have
Just
over 30
for a
people
really
strong in
good
the chat
read.
for the last like 5-10
Ask 2
minutes.
questions.
We've been
and
holding
then
tight at 30
answer 2
plus. I'm loving that there's so many of us here.
I mean,
I'm wondering
I
if it's
think
a perfect
keeping it in the
Saturday
story, I
or
think
everyone just
that,
loves the wrap up.
She went away because she was uncomfortable getting close to people and trying to deal with all of that. And I think would, do little odd jobs here and there. I think she would visit brothels if she was lonely.
Oh shit. Okay.
That's kind of what was going around in my head in case
Shit.
it ever came up. But yeah, super, super important stuff that she kept having to
But it
leave
was
for.
it was more like a mental health break than like a mission.
So,
That was
and I think
calling
also
her.
it was just that every time Yasha would get in the group, there would be something like killing Bo or something would always come up, and I think she was, for a really long time,
Issues
kind
would
of in this
arise, like
shame
killing
spiral
Bo.
that finally she started to get out of because of the love and friendship of the group.
To be fair, we did only kind of bring sadness and destruction for like the first couple. Like, if you think of it from Yasha's point of view,
Boy.
we rolled in your life and then got the circus arrested,
Got your buddy murdered.
got your buddy murdered,
Oh, yeah.
got you kidnapped by a slave trader.
Yeah, it was a rough go.
A lot of unfortunate events. A lot of unfortunate events happen revolving around Yasha.
But she wasn't flying off to Tal'dorei to join up with an acting troupe.
The girl
No,
from
I think it was all very
was
private,
David
and I
Bowie's
think
wife,
not
wasn't
getting
she?
Close to
She was the
people,
inspiration. I
just
forget her name.
Spending time alone and
Lazy Shane.
yeah, I think that's
Bidet
where she
Shane.
was at least in the beginning.
West Coast on Saturday, still in bed
bet
chilling.
you-
10:30 on the West Coast. Yes, it is. It is
When we
early.
stopped killing your friends or getting them arrested.
You ran out of friends to
Yeah.
kill.
To kill? Yes, yeah.
To kill.
Process of elimination, yeah.
Damn, I'm just trying to type and I
Back
keep
to the
somehow
sending stone.
Sorry,
pausing.
the sending stone.
So
The other side, I
dumb.
my brain was like it's one of three people, but I got different things jumbled up. It was Ionos Jagantoth of the Jagantoth house at Shady Creek.
Jagantoth.
Lord Sutan
I like
had
those.
deals with
I like the name
Jagantoths,
Jagantoth.
and that was like a lot of this campaign was throwing out a lot of threads and seeing just which ones you guys
Jumped at.
and went for, and that would become the story. And so one of those was if that sending stone began to happen, it would be a conversation with Ionos Jagantoth, and that would have led to probably a more Shady Creek run-centric story and narrative there, and kind of breaking apart that, story thread element.
The Jagantoths were enemies of the gentleman?
No, Jagantoths
The
were
Dragontops
Bo's.
were who employed the Iron
Shepherds.
Shepherds.
Who
They were
were
bad people.
Yeah.
And the Iron Shepherds were fucking with the trade route. I am getting this right? The trade route that the gentleman ran.
Oh.
So the gentleman was like,
But wasn't it related to Bo's
not really, they
family
weren't like
too?
rivals, but the gentleman was like,
Jagantoths?
fuck these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
What a last name.
I thought the Jagantoths were related to
Jagantoths?
the Lionettes. Like dealing with the wine trade or something. Am I crazy? Who am I thinking of? Who was the other family that were with the Lionettes?
Cool would be like a goblin
and having
and a
problems with the
rogue.
wine
Wasn't
trade.
an order,
I
it
could
was
have
just
sworn
an
that was the
idea.
Jagantoths too.
Wasn't an order.
Campaign 3 is an order. I instructed him what to do, but the second one wasn't. But how did you arrive at
Just
what
forget
you
to take
created?
something
And did you
less-
start with?
Just forgot to say,
Beth
Michael, what is
Bonato
up? I'll be fine.
or
It's been
Not the
going on
Brave?
since Tuesday. I have a
started
migraine.
with
Had to
a
wait
V
for
name
meds to work.
because in campaign 1
Well,
I had
Michael,
said,
welcome
wouldn't it be
back.
funny if in campaign 2 I was called Vix as a joke? And I was then, so for campaign 2, I was like, okay, I'm going to be Vix. Just to kind of fuck with Liam and Laura.
You're the worst.
But I couldn't come up with a good anagram with that, so I was like, all right, at least I'll stick with V. And so I came up with like a V name, and then I don't know, I think I found Brave in there, and I came up with Beth first, and then sort of retrofitted it to be Not the Brave. But no, my only motivating factor in creating Not the Brave was I know I was going to be a rogue like you had just done. You had done such a brilliant rogue, and I don't know anything about D&D, but it seemed pretty archetypical in that, like, you were a badass and you were an assassin and so cool and fast, and you dealt all this damage and you were so awesome. And I was like, I can't do that because, first of all, I won't be as good as you were, but also you just did that. So I wanted to be like the opposite, like a nervous rogue or a scaredy cat rogue or just anything else. So I just was like, okay, I'll be a neurotic, jittery rogue. That'll be my thing. And then I was like, okay, why is she jittery? And then I was like, oh, maybe she doesn't feel comfortable in her skin. And then I was like, okay, maybe it's not her skin. Maybe that's why. And then I was like, how would she deal with that? She would get drunk all the time. And so that's how I sort of came about
Hey,
it.
one of my favorites. Veth, still great. Veth was still a great character. But I feel like as not...
The later
I liked all that
where
inner
you
turmoil and
took
then
on the
alcoholism.
fake name Bren,
And it got better, which is good for her.
My mind on camera.
But I found, I think I liked not better as not. If that's not wrong to say. Nothing against Veth, like I said. I think Veth had just got her shit together, and I like a character that is doesn't have their shit together.
I used Veth. Which you guys hadn't heard before.
I mean, Veth was still
next time I used a fake name, I used Bren. And then the next time I used a fake name, I used Otto. Veth Brenotto.
Oh, you dick!
Veth Bren Otto.
I hate how smart you are. It pisses me off.
You're the worst.
See, I thought.
But then I remember. I think I saw.
I remember
it, like
those
what was
happening.
Going through Liam's head.
I thought he used Bren because of
crazy in that moment, and you were like,
I didn't catch the Otto part.
And then I couldn't figure out why you were doing that.
I was thinking of our audience, however X number
We're
of episodes
also
later
3
when
likes
they would
away,
find
everybody.
out
3
Caleb's real
likes
name,
away.
looking back at this moment. So I was going crazy and going, I'll see you in 60 episodes, guys.
Well, you kind of did it with me too at one point, where you were making.
Yeah, the Brent thing was very
regard
confusing.
jokes.
I
And
just
you said,
assumed
like,
it was related to each
Henry
other, not
Thoreau regard.
not Renato.
That's your brother's
that's my
name.
dad's name.
Oh, dad's
is
name.
Thoreau. Yeah. And fully because of the game that you were playing, I was like, he's kind of a narcissist. What rhymes with Beauregard? Yeah, Thoreau. Yeah, I'll name him after Thoreau.
Thoreau regard.
And Thoreau was also kind of a narcissist, so it all works.
So what we're saying is you're a moderate,
I'm pretty
medium,
sure
and
I've
or
thought of that
clairvoyant.
many times.
So, well done.
There's no coincidences in our game. It's all kismet.
There you go. I like that.
I have one for Matt.
Yeah.
That you just came up with?
Yep, totally. I like this one. I see it and I'm taking it.
I have one
So
that
when
I
we
just came
chose
up with.
crime instead of the other thing.
Yeah, this is a good one.
What would have happened if we had chosen to become the Lawmaster's mercenaries rather than the Gentleman's Offer?
Oh, and Zadash.
Like a
There we
whole
go.
other
Yeah, we had to make a
campaign.
choice.
That was like
Yeah.
a big intersection.
Yeah, that was a
right?
huge diversion.
Yeah, we had to make a choice.
You guys
I'm
have
happy
built up
we
this-
chose the
this
gentleman.
Relationship, a little bit with the Lawmaster, a lot with the new High Richter, and there was an option here where you could have pursued a very strong Empire-based story in basically becoming the classic mercenaries for hire by the better folk of the corrupt Empire.
Okay.
And that narrative would have brought you guys probably deeper into Rexentrum a lot earlier in other parts of the Empire and rooting out corrupt elements, beginning to get involved with the Cerberus Assembly a lot earlier. And I was planning for that to intersect with you guys beginning to work with the Ogden Trust, which is essentially like the secret spy network of the Empire, who works for the Crown, but also kind of works on their own of the Crown. And kind of
Would have been interesting.
Butts heads with the Cobalt
But I
Soul, but also
wouldn't
occasionally
say
they work
I would have
together on
liked it
things.
better.
Yeah, that would have been fascinating.
And the Ogden
It would
Trust.
have been interesting.
This is actually kind of funny. I could say it. The leader of it, Schreiber, who's in the campaign guide, was supposed to be Matt Colville. Whenever you guys got to the Ogden Trust, he was going to drive up and basically guest NPC.
I don't know who
the
that
head of
is.
the
Do
Ogden
I know that
Trust.
person?
And we just never.
To hire you guys
Colville?
on.
I feel like I know that
And
name.
we had lunch talking about it. We were throwing emails back and
Isn't
forth.
that
He
one
did
of
this
Matt's
awesome write-up of
Mercer's
like
friends?
the people that work below him, and then you guys instead went to Jorah's. I like text.
See you, Colville.
I texted Cole. I was like, so things went a little
Aw,
differently.
we left him behind.
Yeah, I mean,
he never
When
got
they
to
come
play
back
his
to
part.
it, whenever they get back in the Empire, no,
Never
they're
got
gone
to
full
play
dynasty
his
now.
part.
So,
We are one like
sorry,
away,
buddy. He's
everybody.
like, that's how it goes.
33
So,
strong in
yeah.
the chat.
I
One
had
like
one
away.
speed dial for that,
And then we're into
I don't know,
bonus
I don't think it's
time.
happening, man.
I just remembered, and I have to hit this in. What the fuck was up with Gustav? I just have to know. I just have to know.
Oh my god, we're going to talk about Gustav.
Oh,
Gustav,
God,
one of my
yeah,
favorites. Here we
So,
go. Listen in.
Gustav, he was the one who made the original deal with Cowrie, the Devil Toad. And it wasn't because he was like, I want to work with a demon, but because when he encountered this thing, they had kind of like a discussion, and like devils do.
Gustav
like
was
fiends do.
one of my favorites.
And essentially,
Like,
the Cowrie said,
main character.
I can make your carnival something great if you can bring me people to feed. And at the time, the carnival was not doing well.
So Gustav
and
did-
Gustav was like, I can't give you people. I can give you those that will likely not be missed from his perspective, or those that are already on their way out. So the infirmed or the old, which is why if you look at all the all the
right,
notices
that was a
says,
thing, yeah.
you know, these people are not allowed, because he wanted to make sure that nobody accidentally died during a performance. He would just bring them to him.
So Gustav
to feed him
willingly
as part of this deal
was
they made. And then he lost
trading
control,
souls,
and then
so to
Kaori
speak.
caused all this horror, and like everything went down, and essentially Gustav just felt genuinely guilty. He had locked himself into something at the time, not really thinking it through, and it went on so long, and so many people, very much kind of like Seymour from Little Shop of Horrors. Yeah, where, like it just got too much for him. And then when you guys managed to take care of Kaori and free, you know, the carnival from this, he was like, I can't go forward with this guilt unless I do my time. And so you guys are like, we can get you out.
That
you know,
makes
you know,
sense, because
you're free. He's
Gustav
like, nope, I'm going
willingly accepted
this is where I belong.
his
Everyone else in
punishment.
Carnival's free
It
to
makes a
choose
lot
their
more
paths,
sense.
and
I thought
just
Gustav was
this is where I'll
just
stay. So that was
surrendering.
what was going on with Gustav. He was just racked with guilt for making a terrible
Very cool.
decision that led to many people dying.
Yeah.
Because when this went down, I felt so bad for Gustav, thinking that Gustav had no knowledge of all. I'm thinking Gustav just like threw in and was like, I guess
Well, I think
that's
all
it for
the time
me,
we have
everybody.
For Arc 1.
Poor Gustav.
But we are going to take it to everyone's favorite cabbage enthusiast, Brian W. Foster.
Cabbage
for
enthusiast.
an interview with everyone's favorite Estelle Getty stan, Kari Payton.
Hey!
Roll that beautiful cabbage
Kari,
footage.
Mr.
All right, I'm here with fan and cast favorite Kari Payton, who is zooming in
Shikasta.
from the
We got Shikasta.
lovely
It's all good.
undisclosed
30 extra
location
minutes.
where he
Woo,
is-
woo. Yes, we hit 50 likes,
where
everybody.
he is being
We're
kept
officially at 50
safe
likes. We
from
have almost
the
40
undead.
people in the chat. Welcome.
We're
If you're
sorta out in the
new,
middle of nowhere,
feel
which
free
is
to say
actually kinda
hi.
beautiful.
It looks insanely
I'm sure there's some
gorgeous,
people
man,
in here I haven't
peaceful.
seen before. Say hi.
exactly,
In 1
exactly. I
minute,
can't
we get the
complain.
hour
Just a few
countdown
questions
to bonus
about
time,
your
and
time
I'll
on
do a
Critical
shot.
Role Campaign
So,
2.
if somebody
wanna
new
start
shouts
with
out.
asking you what the inspiration was
Shot
behind
dedicated to you.
Shikasta.
Shikasta.
Man. Well, I always loved Shaka Zulu. He is this great warrior king, African warrior king. I always loved the name Shaka. And
Shaka
so,
Zulu.
I thought it can't just be Shaka though. It's got to be, you got to give it a little spice. Got to give it a little something.
Kari needs a better camera. Sorry, Kari, but
something. Shikasta.
I barely could see you.
I don't know. It just sounded.
I thought he was
going
to say it had something to do with Ace Ventura or something. Shikaka.
Yeah, it does.
Shikaka.
So,
I mean, they've done
that's
that many
kinda how I
times,
came up
but
with the name, and as far as the character was concerned,
all hail King
I wanted him to
Ezekiel.
be blind,
I was
and
brain
I wanted him
farting
to
on his
see
name
through
from Walking
the eyes
Dead.
of a
I was like,
bird.
that's how I first know him.
And I thought that a hummingbird would be perfect. There's so many in Southern California, you know, that you know, wherever I lived, there always seemed to be, you know, hummingbirds that would fly in and out of your life. The last thing that I wanted from Shikasta is that I wanted him to sound like Bootsy Collins.
Yeah.
Bootsy. Why do I know that name?
And so those were the three things, you know, that
what is Bootsy Collins? Is that a real person or is that a
together for
character
me.
from something?
And,
Because I know
with that voice,
that name.
you can,
It's
know,
Bootsy.
Is
that like I feel like Chris Tucker
Yeah.
says something about
exactly.
Bootsy.
You know,
I love it.
Is that from Friday
you
or
were able to be
something?
on a few episodes of the show and even one of the live shows that we
Rush
did.
Hour?
Yeah, I got
I
to
feel
do
like
the
Chris
live show,
Tucker
and,
has like a thing
and
with
I was
Bootsy.
so excited.
It could just be random or the same
I
name.
jumped on a plane. I was like, I am there. You know, just tell me where, when and where, and it was awesome.
We kept you a surprise for a couple of days, and then I remember
We have surpassed
being,
50 likes, everybody. If we hit
upstairs at the live
75,
show, and when Matt
75 likes,
described the
we'll
bird
continue.
flying around, a lot
Bonus.
of people in the crowd, they knew you were coming out. At that moment, they were like, oh, yeah, it was so great. It was so great. That was
great. I could feel it like a hurricane. I could feel it like a gale force wind on
jazz
the
musician,
Is there
bass
anything
player,
about
apparently, according to
Shikasta
Google.
that
Bootsy Collins
didn't get revealed during your
bass
time on the show
player
that you want either
for
the
James
critters
Brown.
and or the cast to
Somebody
know
look this
about
up
him?
for me. Bootsy,
You know, I think
Chris Tucker. Type in
oddly
Bootsy Chris
enough,
Tucker.
for
I swear
such a
that Chris
mysterious
Tucker
character, I think
in
that-
Rush
that
Hour
you
or
actually-
Friday or
you
something
actually got to
is
know
like
who
Bootsy.
he really
I know
was.
Bootsy.
You know.
It's
in
probably
those
not
moments,
Bootsy
maybe
Collins, but
maybe
it's
not,
something about Bootsy, I feel like.
you know, concrete bits and pieces about where he was from and how he got there, but the essence of Shikasta, and the truth is that you already know this without me saying, but he's a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah, Nefertiti.
Yeah.
Nefertiti.
What do you think?
A lover, not a fighter. Is anybody new in the chat? I didn't see anybody new jump in.
Legacy is?
If anybody's new in the chat, we are under an hour to bonus time starts. We hit the 50 likes. We're beyond 50 likes.
We go to this,
so we will be doing bonus time, but we're an hour to bonus time.
With Deepak
Someone
Chopra.
gets
Yeah.
this shot dedicated to Deepak Chopra.
And Charlie asked Deepak Chopra, he was like, "What do you be?"
No, this shot will be dedicated to you.
And he said,
if you're new in the chat,
and I just thought,
I got a feeling that Kyrie will definitely return for the animated series as Shikasta again.
Level shit. You know what I mean?
Only I hope we get more of him than we did. I agree, Adam. Kyrie, I could definitely see returning for the voice of Shikasta.
Thank you. They're like, we appreciate it, and he says,
I could see most of our people returning.
And,
the people that played the guest characters.
Yeah,
I could see most of them wanting to come back for that.
Thank you so much for catching up with us and talking about Shikasta.
He was a great.
Such a good time having him on the show and having you there.
Shit.
And, I know that
I'm drawing a blank on the king.
Yeah, he's absolutely one of
Amon's
my
name.
favorite things that I have ever been a part of creating. And he will always hold an incredible.
I don't think I've seen him, Kyrie, since Ezekiel.
And I love.
Has he been in anything? The actor, I haven't seen him really in anything since Walking Dead.
One day, I'm gonna have glassy eyes and a big white afro, and I'm gonna be floating over somebody.
Yeah, you are.
Gotta love it.
That's amazing. Thank you, man.
He already rocked it.
Thank you, dude.
As Uriel in Legend of Vox Machina, he could do it again. I was gonna say he was a guy. All right, the bad guys. I think it said 26 to 47.
Thank you so much, Kari and Brian. I miss.
Did that say 26 to 20 to 47? Arc 2.
Oh no.
The bad guys.
All right, y'all. Arc 2. The bad guys.
The other guys.
This is when shit started getting real.
When shit started getting real. He was in Hellraiser Hellworld.
We disappeared.
Yeah.
Pre-Walking Dead. I've not seen that Hellraiser. I've seen every Hellraiser but that one.
It wasn't just me.
If that is the newest one. The last two I haven't seen, actually. There was like the remake.
You said you have a Kiri question.
I
and
did.
the
I
one
had a Kiri question, but
before
I just don't know if
the
it's like
remake or the reimagining or whatever they called it. There was
After
one where
we
it wasn't
left,
Doug.
And then I was messaging Kiri. One of the times that we were talking to her, she said that
Doug,
she had built
the guy that plays
something
Hellraiser.
in Hupperduke. And I just want to know what it was that she built.
That's right.
Sure.
I'm brain farting on his name.
That's a perfect example.
But there was
of
one Hellraiser that didn't have
things
the guy that played the original
planned, and then it came out, and then in my head I was like, well, I got to figure out what that
Doug
means.
Baker?
Yeah.
Was it?
that
Why
happens
am
a
I
lot.
forgetting
We never
his
got
name?
back to Hupperduke.
No, you didn't. But I was like, what? I was trying to think because it's Kiri. I'm like, what are things she would have heard based on where she was?
Jay,
she would say,
Hellworld is
I built
terrible.
something because she's been around like Tinkertop and
it's not the newest one.
Tinkerer over there, and I was like, she'd say
There's
that.
two
Oh God, what did she
before the
build?
Imagining.
And then I thought about it. I was like, honestly, it's
Bradley,
That's what she was
thank
gifted
you, Doug Bradley.
when you guys left, and so she probably made her
I'm
own.
like Benson.
music
I knew it was a
box.
I was
big.
thinking she made
I'm
some
like
giant
Baker
weapon of
Benson.
destruction.
I know
and she
Doug
made
Benson
a
is the
music.
pop guy, the
kills
comedian. I dig Doug Benson.
Honestly, it like plays the music, and then when it stops, it shoots a dagger out.
Yeah.
It plays
Could
Mambo.
learn a song to sing.
Plays
while
Mambo
she's
number
down.
5.
Exactly. Yep.
Like the video. If you have not, everybody, we are nearing 55.
That's all.
75 gives us
Good question.
bonus time. We already hit the bonus time. I don't see anybody new in the chat. We have a 1 minute countdown on the shot. Anybody new in the chat?
Natural 20.
Right, Jay, natural 20 again. Why are we hitting all these natural 20s?
Ooh.
Somebody says,
I rolled.
Jay, what is up?
Alrighty.
I'm new in the chat, and you are new.
Oh, interesting. Let's go and
You
do
get
this
the shot.
So,
1 minute countdown. Otherwise, I'm randomly picking one of our family members that are in this all the time.
Laura and Travis at Levinson on Instagram writes,
New question.
Travis and Laura welcomed their son during the early part of campaign 2. Did their journey as parents influence how they approached their characters
Ronan.
and relationships?
They introduced
Jester specifically
Ronan.
saw a massive shift in her relationship with her mother, while Ford changed patrons from the evil Ukatoa to the more nurturing wild mother.
Oh man, I don't know if. I don't
Only
know if I
they
even registered that it changed
would know this.
my relationship like after Ronan was born.
Or
but
would
I
they
do
even
know
know they did?
that
if they
I was
did.
pregnant with Ronan at the tail end of Vox Machina campaign.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about that when I was creating, Jester's full backstory. So I'm sure that influenced why she had such a tight relationship with her mother. And
there are 3 good films in that series.
Yeah. I don't even
and
think
I would know, as I've
realized
seen
that
them
until
all,
just now.
except the
we did Garage
reimagining.
One Shot, and
Locked
I had the 2
behind
people that everybody
a
went into the
paywall
tavern
on
the
Hulu.
first time met. There was a green
The
half-orc
first-
gentleman and a blue
I
tiefling.
would say
And they
the
had a
first
baby.
2 were
and
good.
you were trying to kill
I'm sure
the
there were
baby.
more good ones,
sorry,
but
I didn't get
I
that.
feel like I remember the first 2. Well, the first one's good.
Is that
Very
that
good.
why
Classic.
Jester
Horror,
didn't know who the dad
gorific
was?
greatness. I feel like the second or the third one was really good too. I can't remember which one.
That's why Jester's father was really powerful.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Good answer. Good.
Good answer. Good answer. All
I don't know
right.
if it affected.
This shot
It was straight.
is going out to Adam
There's the
Espinosa.
time
Adam,
before you had a kid and afterwards.
you get this shot
and
dedicated
all
to
of
you
the
because
moments
of the
that you see
glory
in
you
movies
are
and TV shows and
and the
stuff where
greatness that you bring
a kid
to
is
this
part of
chat
the
and
stakes
all
and
your
the
help.
drama. It's so much different.
As
after you
does
have a
others,
parent.
but
remember
Adam, I just picked
We
you,
saw Endgame
and you
after
get the
Ronan
shot.
was
Cheers
born,
to
and
Adam
I was
Espinosa.
like
You
audibly
lost
weeping
your
at
shit.
the "I Love You 3000." And I was like, and I think just looking back at the backstory and seeing how much is the idea of parents
Well,
or
that is
somebody
freezing
that
cold.
didn't love him enough to keep him
I'm
around, or
still not
whatever the
used to how cold
circumstances
those
were. Maybe it
things
wasn't
stay.
even a choice, and they were
It's
just
like
both
so
killed. I
cold.
think it just kind of deepened it a little bit.
55
but
likes
with
in the
Wild
chat,
Mother, it
20
wasn't so
away
much about looking for a parent. He was looking
second
for those
greatness.
like father figures in the game, which I could certainly identify with in my life. The people that you look and you're like, okay, who do I want to fill those positions for me as I'm learning about becoming a man and a friend and all those things. And so it was interesting.
You don't have to
just
have one,
kinda
Adam.
moving
You
around
just
from,
have a dedication. You don't have to
Vandrin
have a shot with me.
Caduceus to
I
all these
just like
different
to
people that could,
dedicate it
like,
to you for
teach
being
him something.
you.
You always have to be learning.
So
That's awesome.
no need to drink. I'll do the
I
drinking
like it.
for you,
Good
my
answers.
friend. Good answer. Good answer. Don't mind me.
scary when they were
I
gone.
will be fine in
for
5
sure.
seconds.
Didn't like it.
I forgot
Didn't
to
like it at all.
text the
No. Well,
arcade.
that was real hard.
I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if we've talked about. I think we've talked about it on Talks a little bit. We
Yeah.
were sitting at home with a brand new baby, and you guys are taking on Lorenzo, and it starts like kind of trending downwards, and we're like, man, this is crazy to be here watching this.
Lorenzo was
this is
a-
a
was
weird.
a-
Yeah.
This is a weird feeling.
And
this is
I
fu-
didn't
this
like
is going real
Lorenzo
fucking south.
for many
Do we text him?
reasons.
Do we text him? Do we? And it was just.
Yeah.
We're like, well, that happened.
Just staring at the screen like, what do we do?
Are we responsible
Did you
for
blame
Molly's death?
us? Were you like, God, they're so stupid?
It's all their fault.
Yeah.
Blame
They did it to Molly. They did it. Molly is dead because of Laura and
Was
Travis.
he born on
Not-
a Thursday? Was he born that day?
No.
or Jester.
Oh, he was
He
born on a
was.
Thursday.
But
He
not
was.
that.
He went to labor on Tuesday, and he was born on
Thursday.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that
No,
Thursday.
it was
It was the
some weeks
Thursday
before.
after.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because
We weren't anticipating you guys being gone for that Thursday. You went into labor
It was
earlier.
it was
That's
the fight
right.
against the robo jailer in Hupperdew was
That's
the one.
Yeah, the ball.
right.
yeah.
The ball, yeah.
And you guys were kind of being like, I think we were still
The
puppeting
Robo
you guys.
Jailer. I like that. The Robo
And then you
Jailer
guys
in
got-
Hupperdew.
Yeah.
Yeah. it happened a
Chimiki
lot
Paro,
earlier
what is
than
up?
expected.
Chimiki
I
Paro.
was like, cool.
Chimiki Paro, you just missed the hour countdown shot.
Didn't make it.
You
Didn't
might
make
have
it.
you
Game
might have
over.
made the cut for getting
Well, thank you.
the
Good question.
And
shout
yeah,
out.
you were
but
like- were you
now
in New
you're
York,
on deck
or-
for the
I
next
feel
one.
like the time difference was wonky, and you like woke up.
We're
to
going
panic or something.
to 139, 140, I feel like is the break. And then we got bonus time already. We're already at 55 likes. Bonus time coming.
Where it's like you look at our
Chimiki,
thread and
throw
it's
up your
like
like.
127 texts, and I'm like, something bad happened. Yeah.
No joke is that funny. Yeah.
Did you get one text from Ashley Birch saying, I got you back? My revenge was well planned.
I did not.
Was Lorenzo supposed to die in that fight, or was he supposed to be like a longer?
Supposed to?
Yeah, I had thought that if he could escape, he was once again tying into more of the Dragontoth narrative. Like if he had managed to escape, and you guys were, kind of tied a little more into the Shady Creek Run elements there, he would have been a recurring, vengeful creature. And now knowing the faces and the individuals that essentially ruined a very profitable portion of the Dragontoth's business structure, then they would begin seeking you down, and you had now made enemies of another criminal syndicate while working for a criminal syndicate. Like, it just would have been its own.
I don't know why.
Unique narrative,
I said this before, and I'm repeating myself. But the Jagged
everybody
Tops,
else in
that's like probably one of my favorite
stronghold out. So there was nobody left to really kind of report back about who had done it.
It just
them to pick up
sounds
the pieces and
They just disappeared. Yeah.
great. It sounds like
into the night,
strong
so
and
kinda
powerful,
nipped that thread at the moment.
villainous, but like
Can I just jump on a fan
intriguing.
question?
Sure.
That I
It
really
kind
wanna
of
know?
reminds me of
Alex?
Jägermeister,
Yeah, roll for it,
Jagentoth, Jaeger. I don't know, something about it. I don't
Oh,
know.
it's 14.
You're the highest out of everyone that rolls.
Well done.
Alex Lamoro
New
VA
question. Here we go.
asks, the Mighty Nine encountered a mosaic relief of 3 creatures,
Yes.
Huge thing.
each with 3 eyes, totaling 9 eyes. These being Uk'otoa, the Leviathan Lord, Deseret, the Twilight Phoenix, and Kwajat, the Undermaw. Did these have anything to do with the supposed
Yes,
9-eye prophecy visions that the Nine had, or was it simply coincidence?
interesting
And I'm
question.
gonna tag on my B question.
I dig that
was
question,
there any
but I don't
path in this
think
game where
it's
we would've had
related.
to
My
face
personal-
Uk'otoa?
Yeah.
I like that question
There's a lot in
too.
that one.
That was a lot
All
of
right, a lot of
blame
good
Liam.
questions here.
Blame Alex Lamoro via.
Thanks
a lot, Alex.
Oh.
A lot of good questions here.
The 9 eyes between those 3 entities was intentionally kind of a red herring. That early in the story, kind of, putting some parallels in there, because I like putting separate parallels that kind of confuse things a bit until they begin to clarify. So you, namely, because you picked up on it.
Oh yeah.
But there was a possibility if Uk'otoa had been released, that then you had still bound to a sea entity, and one of its champions meant that you were now an indentured herald, essentially, to start helping him expand his domain and possibly help the other 2 entities. That
I'm really
he's
digging this. I'm digging
acted
that
with
we're able.
between these 3 and helping
I
them
wish
be released
there were
as
more
well.
of them, because I feel like there's so many questions I'd
Can I ask a
have.
side question?
I don't even
Part
want to
B
ask my
to
questions till we
Liam's-
hear everyone
Part C
else's.
to Liam's B.
But I'm not going to
even
get
finished
answers
A
to
and
mine,
B.
I
I know,
guess.
but this is
unless
also-
you
this
guys
is part of
know
that one.
through the grapevine.
Were the 3, the song in the carnival that they were singing, was it talking about those 3
Yes, it was.
creatures?
Yeah, those were all performances that essentially were early
I feel like
layering
we
in
talked about this though.
the mythology of those 3 entities.
I feel like at some
'Cause
point
I
we
actually
discussed
written those 3
that,
entities
'cause
before
that
I had
sounds
decided
familiar.
on the Somnavum being 9 eyes. Once again, that kind of inspiration came from Molly's backstory coming in. So I'd already kind of established their mythology, and then the Somnavum thing came in, and then that became 9 eyes. I was like, okay, we have 9 eyes here and 3 creatures. I can go ahead and put against all 3 of them 9 eyes and just make it a weird parallel. Yeah, that kind of a vibe. So
Did
it
we
was
talk
meant to
about
kind of
this?
throw off the
This
scent a
all
little bit,
sounds
but also just kind of make
somewhat
things
familiar.
seem maybe
Maybe
more
I just
connected
thought
in
of it
when you
back
chose
then, like it was a
specific
good
path, maybe that would
question,
be
but it
unveiled.
actually does.
And who knows?
I mean, it
maybe
makes
if I got
sense,
inspired
and
down the road,
I
I
feel
could
like
connect
we've
them all. But it didn't
discussed
seem
this.
to, nothing's set in stone when you're DMing. For those who know, if you DM, if players do something unexpected or something in the narrative comes up that's much cooler than what you had planned, then you're like, yes, that is now the story. And so I could have very well have tied that all together, but there wasn't much. Uk'otoa never got released, and there wasn't there wasn't much of a heady pursuit for the other creatures other than just seeing the reliefs. So it wasn't a necessary thing to introduce.
I seriously thought about it, but the vomiting seawater made it impossible. If I could have kept it like tucked under, I would have let that bitch out.
You should.
Really?
I was really shocked you
was
did.
ready for
Knowing
it.
you,
Yeah.
I was
I was
shocked you
I'd
didn't.
wake up puking water and be like,
You are the
nothing's going on. Everything's fine.
And I know it only firms up once
I
you
love
make
it.
it real, and we
I
didn't get
love
there.
it.
But
I
spitball
like
in your
it a
mind.
lot.
Tarask is here. Uk'otoa is here.
Uk'otoa is about on par, a little under. Comparatively.
I remember someone pointing this one
it's-
out.
He's a lesser idol.
Though,
he's,
so
he's
yes,
essentially
was
like
probably
around the
confirmed
demigod
some of the
level.
things
More
told
than the
here.
Kraken?
Yes, I feel like
Well,
someone
around-
did.
probably like
Matt, all
equal to or a
roads
little higher
lead
than a
to the
Kraken.
Jagged Tops.
Stronger
Like a
than
Mighty
stronger
Nine.
Kraken, that's right.
Stronger than
To
Artie?
the Shore House.
On par in some ways.
To the Jorah.
If they were to go
house.
toe to toe.
Can you imagine if we got an
We are
army
almost
fighting
to
on
60
our side
likes,
of that final
everybody.
boss fight?
Do we hit 75? 75 likes.
Damn you, divine
We'll
intervention.
get us.
He's got a lot going on.
We'll watch the entire
balance
campaign
standpoint,
3
too.
in one
There's only
sitting.
a certain point where I'm like,
500
if a player
hours
can just
today.
call their patron in to fight alongside them, the one who gives them all their power.
Divine intervention, though, would have
Yeah,
helped.
well, divine intervention, like that's a circumstance where you can give like a momentary, reprieve to that balance rule.
P.S.
but-
If those of you are wondering,
I still can't.
As a DM, I can't imagine having as much in my head as Matt
Warlock,
Mercer.
son of a bitch.
We're not in that arc yet. Shut up.
Azure Sky? Am I saying that right?
3?
Or is that the
Thank you,
Azure
Danny.
Sky?
So one was
You are new.
you.
get the next shot.
In Vokodo.
New people in the chat get the next shot. I hope I'm saying your name right.
And then there was the one to find the entrance.
Find the door.
Hidden
Also
entrance
Yeah.
to.
Also Caduceus.
I don't know the
Yeah.
reference
Final
to
one,
the
also
Azure
Caduceus.
Sky.
I never
But I feel like that is how you
If it was
pronounce
anybody
it.
else, I'd be like, how? If you, I'm like, I get it.
I was also going to say, I was talking to Michael
Finally found some
earlier this
found-
week
He's always with me.
about
and yet he never
possibly
fucking listens.
starting Baldur's
It's
Gate
entirely on
3
brand.
Yes, it
at some
totally
point,
is.
not like right
It's the
away,
hall
but at some
sketch where the
point,
guy
because
comes in
I
to
was
rob the
watching
house,
videos
he's
and
like,
I'm
"Where's your
quite
stuff?"
intrigued by
Over
it.
there. Oh, it's so far.
Unless there's something newer coming out,
Yeah,
like
so
that I
Ubisoft
should
was never
wait
meant
for
to
and
be like
start
a
on
combat
like some
encounter
brand new type of
at
game
the lower
that's similar.
levels. If he was
I just
released,
really
that
want to
would've
get
been maybe
into
a late
like
game thing, or
a role-playing
or
game
it
of
would have
that
been less
nature.
about fighting and beating him and more about trying to reseal him. Like it would have been more of a tactical, series of role play.
Azure rhymes a little
encounters
bit
that would have.
with
We're talking
sure, doesn't it?
God of War style. Not even
I
trying
can
to
see
damage the
that.
creature,
Azure,
just trying to get to
sure.
these things
Sure,
and
I'll
then
go
reseal
with
these
that.
bits. It would have been a whole.
It sounds like a
different bit.
fun strategy game involving Uk'otoa.
Oh, Jesus.
Where you have to, like, you use your wits to keep them locked away and away from your sailors.
Away from your sailors.
Anyway, next question.
I am curious.
I'm
speaking
loving
of
the
pirate
rapid
arc,
fire questioning. I want like
Going to Dark Toe.
So much fun. Oh,
Dark Toe is the coolest. I wish we had more time.
I know.
One fucking day.
Dark
One day we
Toe.
got tossed out
amazing.
on our asses.
Yeah, I wish we had a little more time in Dark Toe. We got a little bit at the end with
one shot or something, right? We gotta go
I'm
back.
down for that.
Kingsley.
God, yes, please.
Kingsley giving us a little
All the shit that I threw out
bonus.
from Bo about being here tracking Avantika because I'm here with the Cobalt Soul, and I was just rattling all that shit off the top of my head to hope that he would.
Yes, I believe
I
so.
was essentially
I've heard
Fed,
it
just
pronounced
looking
a few
for him,
different
and then he
ways,
was like,
but I
"Oh, yeah,
say
I know some Feds.
Azure.
What's
The
his
Azure
deal
Sky.
with
I like
the
that.
Cobalt Soul?
So,
The
so this, well, and to be fair, this is another moment of going.
I honestly dig that.
This
more.
wasn't a planned part of his
Azure,
backstory,
Azure.
but in the moment
The
when
Azure
you
Sky.
present information
I like it.
and the way you've created
Like
a character
Azerbaijan.
that connect in a way that makes
The
sense,
Azerbaijan.
you go with
Is
that.
that a
ins-
thing? I
And so
think
for
it's a
him,
place.
I see the Plant King as a self kind of professed intellectual.
I'm happy to see so many
He's
people
somebody
in the
who
chat.
tells
I was
people
worried
how smart he
the
is
Saturday
and
live
reads,
stream
you
might
know, reads the trades,
like mess it up
likes
for
to
a lot
talk
of
about
people.
all
We
the
have
trivia that he collects.
30
and like,
plus
probably hires a lot of people at
vast
Dark Toe to
majority
bring
of the time.
political information from the world to him and gives him a few golds just so he can feel like he's a little above the rest of the riffraff of Dark Toe and can rattle off
One of my
long
least
words and,
liked Bo
and kind of
moments.
lord over that aspect. So I see him as someone like that.
You can tell by his scalped wig.
Yeah, well, that was the fun dynamic, is he is that, and then he's also a cutthroat killer.
Yeah.
And then I thought of
Azure,
the fact that the
as in
the
the
revelry
shade
had
of
started
blue.
by a bunch of merchant
So
sailors
the
and
way
sailors who
is
were
that Azul?
completely over all the political
Isn't Azul
corruption of the
blue
Clovis
in
Concord
Spanish?
and all the different merchantary guilds that were like essentially squeezing all the sailors dry, who were shipping all throughout this coastal area, and the revelry started with the people breaking away from that. So I think in his mind, why it was like over time was like the Cobalt Soul.
I was
They
also
would've
just
taken that
editing
down.
Adventure
They're
Time,
doing
and
a
it was
good
an
thing, and I
episode
think,
with
honestly,
Wyatt.
they're probably cool with what we're
If you
doing.
watch Adventure Time,
And he's just kind of picked up this
I
kind
immediately
of
thought of
slow
Wyatt
building
from
respect
Adventure
over time
Time.
for the Cobalt
Totally
Soul as
irrelevant.
kind of this entity that he's built up in his mind that probably does not mirror at all the actual group, but in his head he's like, yeah, they're the few good guys out there. And I bet if I got to meet somebody like higher up there, we'd do some cool work together and fuck up these people in the Clovis Concord who've been bullshit. Like, that's how I envisioned it. So when you mentioned that, I was like,
He has a parasocial
yeah, he has a
relationship.
parasocial relationship with the Cobalt Soul, and was like, okay, you're cool. It's like someone who reads a bunch of nonsense stories somewhere, and then somebody their grandfather wrote them. You're like, oh, I know nothing about you as a person, but this weird connection means you're cool in my book, and do what you want type scenario.
You work for the Jet Propulsion Laboratory? Dope.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We're going back
The
there.
Jet Propulsion Laboratory.
I never saw any fan art of the Plant King.
That was a little bit.
I feel like we've seen it, right? I'm pretty sure we've gotten one or two.
Yeah.
Art.
What I was going to say is one of my favorite things about this game.
I'm almost positive
is
I've seen
that
one or
you
two
can plan
during
all this
the
stuff.
mid breaks of the
I
Plant
thought
King.
of Caleb
Way
ages
back.
before
I mean,
we
I'm
started
talking
this
way back
campaign,
when
and
we
same
were
thing for
dealing with
campaign
Dark
3,
Tower.
ages before we started.
I'm pretty
but you
sure
can
I've
play and play, and then
Plant
mid
King
game,
art.
just off the cuff, something will happen. You'll have an idea, and you'll in the moment be like, "This is a real thing," and then it just bounces back through your entire past and becomes real, like Not/Veth with drowning, which I think you said was like never a thing you thought of initially, but you did it in the moment.
Yeah. Jester with sweets.
Jester with sweets. Caleb did
Jester with sweets as Laura is stuffing her face with sweets, possibly. I didn't see what she was eating.
With on the fly, right?
I'm going to pretend she's eating the fake cake. She's eating that endlessly.
I was waiting to come on.
Giving
I'm like,
fake
what am I
cake.
doing? I guess I'm making tea for everybody. Fine.
Oh wow!
I love it.
Like
That's so great.
What are they? Yeah, I was like, I don't know what.
And that's like
amazing.
central to Caduceus. Like, and you just pull it out of your butt.
Yeah.
And then it just
right out of your
solidifies.
butt.
It's great.
Yeah, it was only
Love
because
it.
you
Pull
said
it out of your butt
I've never
and it
seen you eat anything
solidifies.
other than sweets. I was like,
I don't know.
Well, that makes sense. Sure, let's
Got
go
it.
with it.
I kind of like the way they're explaining it.
I love that.
Sometimes 10 minutes into the game, one of the other players will create a
that you're-
defining characteristic about your character.
that you're
and it becomes
stinky and-
canon.
That you're stinky.
There it is, Dirt Wizard.
The Dirt Wizard. He just becomes a homeless hobo.
I'm really not.
Stinky bum. You stinky hobo
It's true,
wizard.
though, you're kind of
I should have
riding
worn my hobo wizard shirt.
backwards
It's
as
sitting
you're
right on my
riding
And then
bed.
it stays
My hobo
forever.
wizard
It's really
shirt
cool.
is right on
Like
my
me
bed
too,
right
in
now.
high school. Just happens.
Yeah.
I was gonna
That was.
put them on
Show roll for
hangers
this
and throw
last
them in my
fan
closet.
question.
Do it.
The hobo wizard
I'm
shirt is
switching
sitting
the
right on
dice
top
up.
of my freshly
Oh shit!
Nope.
pressed
Natural
laundry.
20.
Oh, natural 2.
Why are we
Shot before
rolling
the eye.
natural 20s like
This is for you.
crazy?
From @Nico
That is the third,
Drazian.
maybe
What was
fourth
going
natural
through
20
Knott's Veth's
in under
head
an
during
hour.
the time Sumali was on the show as
Neela?
Neela. Why did I say Nyla?
Neela.
Because you can't read.
I'm in love with Nala from The Lion King. So
Because you can why? Because you can't read, Travis. That's why.
Since she had a great goal of finding her husband and son, just like Knott, did she feel a drive to help her find her son and husband, or did it pain her to see them reunited again?
A little of both. First of all, Smalley was so good on the show. It was just fascinating to
I dig
watch
her.
her work and
I
act
honestly
and
think-
be.
I don't know. It's hard to
early
rank
on
the
in
guests,
the
but Somali
game, I
was
think
like
Knott
very good as well.
was
I remember her very well.
Motherly.
I see
well,
her
throughout the game. She
right
was
now
motherly,
in my mind.
But it turns out, like when you play D&D for a while, you kill a lot of people,
Kyrie.
and so it got harder.
I mean,
and
Kyrie,
harder
I
to
think
be
I like as far as his energy
I'm the mother who
and the
wants
actor.
to protect all children and value
But
parenting and
Somali's
stuff, because like you're just
character
killing
I
people
might like. I don't know.
nonstop.
Shakasta's great.
But
There's definitely
Game,
other
then
guest
work on it as
characters
we
I
go
like
forward.
more as characters. But the
but I
actor,
think,
Kyrie's great.
She viewed Neela as a
I dug Keg. Keg was great.
a fellow mom on the right path.
I'm forgetting the
and
name.
wanted
The
to,
girl from True Blood.
wanted to help
What
her
was the
along,
name of the
and-
character
and
the girl from True
it
Blood
probably made her
played?
feel bad that she wasn't making as much progress towards getting back to Luke and Yeza as she could. But she was
Dirt
playing the long
wizards
game and
never
waiting for
die. By
Caleb
the
to
way,
get
my
strong
friends
enough to
just
change her
brought
back,
the evidence
which
that doesn't
I
require my
assumed
credentials.
would happen at some point, and then it did.
I don't know what that means.
Amazing.
Just could have been handled better
It took a
without getting it
long-ass
banned
time,
from
though.
Dark
Yeah.
Tower.
Something you gotta earn.
No matter
It
how
was
hard
totally
Liam
worth
tried
it, and
to die,
such a cool thing.
he never did.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt.
You know, it's true. I don't even think we watched.
We're at
all
60
of the
likes,
episodes
everybody.
during
We have
those first,
broke
like
60.
6 to 8
Keep
weeks of-
liking. I'm loving
all
it.
parents will know this,
75
those first few
away.
weeks of
Do we?
a new
We
child
have
are like
Yeah.
blackout.
still
you just don't, you're not
30
seeing
minutes,
If we had
but
watched
more
them,
than 30
well,
minutes
we
till we
wouldn't
even hit
remember.
normal time.
Might have.
Then
There's
we
no
have
sleep.
bonus time.
Luke was, by the way, I almost
I think we
named
might.
my son
There's a good
Luke.
chance we get a double bonus
That's
time.
why in real life, that's why I chose
Oh, no way.
her.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wow, I feel real bad now.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Like, I already felt bad.
It's my son's great grandfather's name.
Oh.
amazing.
Well, before we move on to Arc 3, to top off this discussion of Arc 2, I think we can all say the campaign would have been deeply different had it not been for a certain dwarf fighter. Brian had a chance to chat with good old Ashley Birch, a.k.a.
Ashley
Keg.
Birch. There we go, Keg. I just said Keg was one. How weird is
I am
that?
here with
I didn't know that
undoubtedly
was
the
happening.
fan
I literally said
favorite
Keg was a favorite. Fan favorite, Ashley Birch.
To
That's crazy.
Ashley Birch,
Keg is
welcome.
very
How are
memorable.
you?
I was like, holy crap. Twiggy. There we go. Twiggy was the other one. I like Twiggy. I also love the actress who does Twiggy from True Blood.
I definitely haven't.
But Keg
said
was
that
one
to
of my
everyone
favorites.
who's
And here she is.
come on to
Here
the
she
interview,
is.
so
I'm
it's,
thinking we
you
might
know,
get a
it's
lot
not-
of them.
It's not a big deal.
Are we going to get
Thank you for
Somali?
coming on to
Are we
talk
gonna
about
get
your
Deborah?
character Keg, who was
My pleasure.
such a big part of this campaign.
How long after
in
is
in
this?
so many ways. That
How
we will
long
definitely get
after
to.
her
But
portraying
first, share
Keg
with the
is
folks,
this
if you can, a little bit of
Q&A?
the inspiration
I'm curious.
behind Keg when you were first asked to come onto the show.
Yeah, so my inspiration behind Keg was pretty simple. I found out that female dwarves could have beards, could grow beards, and that was basically
I knew
the
this
entire motivation.
from Lord of the
That
Rings,
was just-
I believe.
I gotta do it.
Lord of the Rings, I think, was the first thing I saw that
I also
female
liked the
dwarves
idea
had
of
beards.
her
It was
having
normal.
sort of a tough front, but
I'm
secretly
pretty sure
being
it was
a coward.
Yeah.
That was really the combination.
Yeah. Had you played someone like that before? I know oftentimes with RPGs, sometimes we like to use that as a way to really explore something.
They
we
filmed
haven't
this
before.
after
have
campaign
you
two
played a character like that? Or was
wrapped.
Keg kind of the first?
But
for
how
you?
long
Keg was kind of the first. I think,
when was her? Well, I guess it said
before
between
Keg.
26
So I
and
also wanted to
47.
feel distinct from the other
So it's got to be like
characters that I had
2
played as I
years
was.
almost, give or take, like 2
and
years
most of
since we've
those
seen
were pretty,
Ashley Birch.
Brazen, loud, whatever.
Like their
And,
time.
so
I'm
yeah, I
talking
wanted
third
to
time.
try
Or our time.
Role playing, which led into a very interesting occurrence. But I wanted to try role playing a character in that world that maybe isn't as apt to fight as everyone else's.
What was your favorite moment of your time on Critical Role? And then I'll tell you mine of your time on the show.
I have a feeling I know what yours is.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, because you were around for Gen Con.
That's right.
You were around for
26
an arc,
to
a little bit
11.
of an arc there.
He's
So
asking in terms of
what moment
time
was your
since
favorite? And if it's
number
different than Kegs,
26.
tell us what Kegs was. as well.
141. They filmed this after.
Well, Kegs
Yeah,
is
it's
obvious. Kegs was
being as there's
getting
141
lucky.
and we took like a
Well,
month
action.
or two in between. You're talking
My favorite, I think,
over
was
100 episodes
when I read my
since
apology
we've seen
letter.
Keg. We're talking over 2 years. Over 2
I
years
just had
since
the thought
we've
that
had
she'd have
her.
little cracked glasses
in our
and
sights.
be kind of illiterate, and I sort of
Yeah.
that endeared her to me. So I liked that moment.
That endeared her to everybody. Not for long, though, unfortunately. Was there anything about Keg that didn't get revealed during the game that you want to make sure the critters and or the cast, because the cast is watching this right now too, that the cast know, that the cast would want to know?
I was kind of hoping that Keg's friend, who sort of had the amulet that she gave to Sam's character, I was kind of hoping he would be imprisoned in that prison at the end or something.
Yeah.
I liked the idea of this relationship of someone who believed in Keg and was wrong, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
At first,
I dig her hair.
Saw
I
something
don't know
in
if
her
it's the
that she wasn't
camera.
ready to fulfill.
I like her hair.
That she was too scared.
I don't know
to
if it was. I feel like it was
to
different
sort
when
of
we saw her.
blaze that trail that person had.
Short like
had
that,
sort of
but I
set for
like
her.
the.
What do you think?
I like the way it's
Keg's up to now?
It looks like she's got
I think
multiple colors
she's
going on
trying
in
to
there.
do good.
It
I
also
think
looks
she's probably taken a cue from
like
her
it's
new
very
friends and is
dull
trying to sort of
screen,
travel
so I
the
can't tell too
world,
much.
righting wrongs where she can, and I think she's okay at it. I think it's like a 50-50 split where sometimes she's genuinely noble. Sometimes she makes things worse than when she got there.
About 3 years because
but her
COVID
heart
shut
is in the
down
right
for about a
place in way that it
year.
wasn't
Okay.
before.
I'm gonna write
And
that
they
down 'cause you
don't
just
air an
described me
episode
perfectly.
a month out of every year. I mean, one
What
a
do you
week.
think?
My brain is shot.
What do you hope that Keg's legacy is?
Birch's
ultimately?
guest episode hairstyle inspired
Known
my
for
cut
doing what
loosely.
you just said?
Ashley has an early gray
I think so. I mean, I
hair
think the thing that I
lass.
liked about Keg as a character
Looks
is
great.
that
I dig it. I dig it.
man, did she fuck up. I mean, she fucked up pretty hard on her first game and had really dire consequences.
Yeah.
I feel like
But I think the fun thing about
she was in
her is
something
that
else
you get
too.
to see her
I've
stumble
watched
and then
something or seen
try
some
to
other
not
kind of
fuck up again.
animated where
And I
Ashley
think,
Burch's name came up recently. Was she in?
Hopefully by this point, especially since Molly
Hell of a
was
Boss or something?
resurrected, people have
I
forgiven
definitely
her.
have seen her come up
Yeah,
in
I
something
think
else
so.
I've watched.
I think that being her
Animated.
sort of legacy of being a fuck up and then hopefully earning forgiveness with your actions.
Thank you so much for coming on and spending.
I'm going to try and say it again. Critical Role doesn't air the last Thursday of every month on the Norm. That's what I was trying to say. Got it, Star.
A legacy.
So
for 2 characters.
even though we do one a week, we're way ahead of Critical Role because they skip a week occasionally. Episodes 48 to 69, Arc 3, The Bright Queen's Favor. We have made it to
I hope she
Arc
feels
3.
vindicated.
I feel like this is going to finish out to the break. Because there's about
so cute.
25, 30 minutes to the break.
There's a Mollymauk cosplayer on this train.
So I feel like this arc
Should
is
I
going to
move? What
close
do I
out
do?
to the break. But then we're doing bonus time. Keep liking. We're 61 likes, 14
Stay
likes
still.
away.
Wait
From
till they
extra
get off
bonus
the
time,
train, no
everybody.
matter
14
how
likes
far
away.
it goes. No,
I think we can do it. We've got
guys are
like
the best tax.
45 minutes to an hour to hit 14
Well,
likes.
now we're getting into Arc 3, which is The Bright Queen's Favor. This is full Jorhas. We met Essek.
Yeah.
Hot boy.
And we
Hot
walked through
boy.
a worm tunnel to get there.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you traveled far beneath the surface.
Oh, that's yeah. It was so disorienting when we
Good
came
old
out
Hot
on the side of a
Boy.
mountain
You gotta
and just
love
watched
Hot Boy. Who
Dunamancy for the
doesn't
first
love Hot
time, and it
Boy?
was just seemed so strange.
That was the chair and then the tunnel.
It's funny how
and
you
then the
guys were
tunnel and
all
the
for the
tunnel and
longest
tunnel.
time like, here comes Hot
the whole
Boy.
section,
And in
like,
the
going
beginning, I was
way
like, I don't
into
get it. It's like you
into-
got to live
into
the campaign
darkness.
to understand
It
Hot
felt like
Boy.
Disneyland to me. It felt like when you're like shifting to another land.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Like you're like walking like underneath the bridge and suddenly like, oh, it's New Orleans now.
Yeah.
Apparently.
And the Rob McElhenney show on Apple TV, Sasha Bros. She's the voice.
Yep.
It felt
In
very much like that
AOT?
part in a video game
What
where
is
you get to an
AOT?
area and they
She's
go,
Tiny
you can't
Tina
go
in
this way.
Borderlands.
You can't go
Oh,
this way.
I might
and in
think
a
of
video game,
that's
you'd
what I
have
might
to
be
turn
thinking.
around and find another path, and we just kept going, no, let's
She's
make this
Alloy
part
in
work,
Horizon.
you know?
I don't know that.
And
She's
did
in
you have to
dozens
like
of
completely
games.
rework
Sasha
a whole arc
Bros.
because we
I
kind
don't
of
know who
shoved
that
ourselves
is.
into Jorha so quickly?
I mean, yeah.
And
but
the
also
Rob
that's why I love the
McElhenney
game.
show.
You know, it's.
What is that one? What is the
My
Rob
favorite moments
McElhenney?
are
I know
when
the
I'm caught off
the
guard
actor,
or
but what
when,
show is that?
You know, I'm not trying to put up barriers to stop you guys, but I'm trying to logic out the challenges that would be before you to make this a really difficult choice. And if you guys continue to persist
Anybody
and
new
find
in
clever
the
ways
chat?
to bypass those barriers,
Oh, Attack on
then
Titan.
I'm going to reward you for
I've
it
actually
and just
never.
throw
I've
my
only
shit out
seen
the
the
window
first
and figure
like
something else up on the
half
fly.
a season
So,
of
yeah,
season
like,
one of
what,
Attack
you
on
know,
Titan.
other than-
I've seen
I
like
think
the
no one's
first
more disappointed
half
than
of
that
season
Coco
one,
we got
and I
from Jorah.
never got around
But,
to finishing it.
But yeah,
I know people tell me Attack on
it
Titan's
was just
one of
an
the good
interesting
ones.
path to
I think there was a
follow and continue to
break,
go
like
through
a
the Underdark, you go
mid-season
through these
break,
tunnels
and I
find
just
some
kind of
Jorahs
never
and-
jumped back in.
and completely shift the direction of the campaign in a really cool
And then somebody
way,
told me
getting involved
things that
with,
happen at the
you know,
end of season one, you don't get
terrain and
answers
the
till like
dynasty a
way
lot
later, and I
earlier
was
than
like,
initially anticipated.
ain't nobody got time for
And from
that.
the perspective of kind of just
nobody
wandering
got time
into
for
it,
that.
as opposed to any like direct political impetus to get you there, like it was really interesting.
Political
and
impetus.
I don't know what I was expecting, so yeah.
The more walls you put up, the more likely we are to be like, there's something that you're protecting over
It's a
there.
show about video game developers, but
Every
funny.
challenge is like, clearly
I
this
don't
is
know if I know
everything.
this.
What was the chair?
What was
What
the
was
Yeah,
the
you can fess
chair?
up now. Tell us.
Yeah,
Tell
what
us.
was the chair?
Tell
Oh
us
my
the
god,
secret
this is my
secrets.
biggest question. I don't think it's anything. I don't think it's anything.
my notes.
It better
There
be
was
something.
There was a really, really nice, like mahogany tree once, and somebody with some skill with a saw and a sander was like, "I got an idea."
I love this story.
No,
It's just a chair.
Next question.
Next question.
Well, I'm
Tell
curious
us
because and you
about the
kind of
tray. About the
loosely
chair.
touched on this.
I'm guessing the
before.
chair was just a chair.
That Essek was kind of supposed to be a bad guy.
You
and
don't
then
know
we
the Last of Us video
made
games
friends
yet,
with
do
him,
you,
and his
Jay?
heart grew 3
I did an
sizes that
entire
night.
watch of
Totally
the
grew some
walkthrough
Yeah.
of part
This
one.
was his plan.
Before The Last of Us show came out,
I think it was
I
designed
did a
to not
watch
be like
along
a
of the
major
entire
antagonist, but to be an
walkthrough
antagonistic force
of the
in
first
world.
game. It's on YouTube.
You guys kind
You
of
can watch it in full.
barged in to
I didn't play the
Kryn
game. I
Dynasty
just watched all
and
of the
gave
videos leading up so I could watch the show and compare.
Lost artifact that is intrinsic to their entire
And the
culture
show was
and
up
religion.
too. The entire
And
first season of
as soon
the
as you did
live
that,
action show
I
is
was
on
like,
Patreon.
well, first off, I know how they got that beacon, and I'm attached to this. I'm the one that smuggled it out, so I need to get in real close with these people and keep an eye on everything they do, because they're now the biggest loose end on my guarded
Ashley Burch's voiced
person,
a decent-sized NPC in
if
Legend.
they're committing murder and someone walks in, it's like, I found a boot in your
In
yard. And he's like, fuck,
The Last of Us 2?
You guys,
Yeah, I haven't done the
this in. And
second
he
game.
was like,
I was
he's like,
actually
have
going to do
get
the
them.
watch
So
through of the
he
second
immediately was
game,
like, I'll take care
getting
of
ready
them.
for season
I'll
2
work with their
of the
business.
show.
I'll figure out where they're going, and I'll be their
I just don't have time to play it. I
chaperone,
want to be able to
essentially.
compare it
And
to
so
the game.
it was him just trying to cover his ass while also trying to figure out what you were up to.
It worked
what your
out great
connections
for
were,
the
how much
first
you
game.
Knew.
And
then the
a
more
lot
he
of
got to
similarities.
know you guys,
Like
'cause his
almost
whole goal
shot
was
for
just to
shot
keep this
from
thing
the
going
live
with the
action.
dynasty. He was fed up with a lot of the political structure of the dynasty. I'll keep this thing going. Sorry, with the assembly. He was fed up with a lot of the dynasty's kind of zealotry, and the he doesn't really have any formal interest in the Lux, and he thinks that it's misguided. He thinks that there's a lack of interest in seeing what Dunamancy can actually do, because everything is regimented instead by the cultural history of it, and he just wants to advance to see what is possible. And he found partnership in the assembly that way. But you guys kept like inviting him over for dinner and asking about
his eggs.
Yeah,
for real. When we left him, I was like, well, I really hope that I see things that I have in common with him, and I empathize. But he's gonna need years.
So
to
we made, or
unpack
they
his shit.
made,
or he's not, or he's just
Essek
gonna
a
bend
way
back and do
bigger
all the
deal,
things he was doing
apparently.
before without us. And then one time we met up with him again, he was a changed man.
Yeah, well, he was still struggling. He didn't know who he was, and at a certain point, your guys' interaction kind of showed him that he could be better, and he was struggling with being convinced.
When
that
you do watch the
it was
walkthrough,
too
listen
late
for
him.
every single
And
Critical
so it
Role
was this
cast
idea
member
of
you
like,
can,
I've already
because
fucked
I'm
up my
pretty
entire
sure
life,
all
and I
7
didn't
are
realize
in
it
there.
until I found people that actually
Not
cared
just Ashley.
to look past my position and my abilities. And he'd been kind of a solitary figure his whole life, except for like his relationship with his brother. Like, he didn't
The
get along
chair
with his
won't be
parents.
answered
He
until
didn't get
campaign
along
3,
with
so
most
it
people in the
literally
dynasty
has a
unless they helped him
meaning.
maintain
Because Matt
and advance
totally
his position of
sidestepped
power
that
and
question.
influence.
I thought it was
And
a
so
joke, and then I'm like, no, he
you
is.
guys fucked him up.
He is
Is that why he
sidestepping this
wasn't
question.
consecuted?
The chair is still
Yeah,
something.
he refused to do it because he didn't believe in it, and he had odd theories about how consecution would affect the dominance.
The
of
chair,
use
I think
and
I've discussed this with
manipulation
you
of
guys.
Dunamancy.
But the chair, I am paying attention to
Yeah,
Matt
lying
about
about it
Essek,
was just
Dunamancy,
about
everything else.
going
But the
along
chair
with the
reminded me
zealotry
so
and
much
not-
of
Exactly.
the
because he
cabin
didn't
in
want
Lost.
people to think that there was something.
Those of you who are
staying part
fans
of
of
the
Lost know what I'm
tapestry
talking
around
about.
it.
In season 4,
Like a large
where
part of his early
Hurley
times was just
brings
trying to deflect and
Locke,
misdirect and like, don't
because
look
of
at
the
me. I'm just
cabin
here.
and the
Just paying
chair
attention. I got nothing
and
to do with
the
any
and
of
the
this. It's weird, huh?
whole creepy,
and then the more you got to know him, he eventually
ridiculous thing that
let that
occurs
fall away.
with Jacob.
Yeah, I was not expecting any of that.
Neither were we.
That's what I think of when I think of the
He
chair.
became so much more of a central character than I anticipated too.
I think it's something like that, where there's something way bigger going
Made it
on.
float, man. What else were we supposed
Yeah, I know.
And it's
right?
all
all you
being
have to
kept
do.
under
The minute
wraps.
you described him, and everyone's like, he's hot. You know we're gonna interact with him.
All you have to do is make a character that does one cool thing, and they don't attack us immediately, and we'll love them forever.
It's so true.
The man behind the curtain. That's what we're talking about, Star. That is exactly what we're talking
He
about.
reminds me of remember
man behind the curtain.
from Goth to Boss. T
From
crowd
Goth
that guy,
to
and how they would
Boss.
just sometimes when he entered and exit rooms, they would just put him on the dolly and pull him out.
Yep.
It's kind of reminded me of. He's just floating.
That's a good reference.
I like
Well, how about a fan question?
it. Fan question. Rolling
Roll
natural
those
20.
dice.
Someone's rolling a natural 20. Natural 20 again. There is. I'm just assuming there's going to be a natural 20 every time at this point.
Liam.
Natural 20. That's 4 or 5.
Melon. I
And
think
we
it is,
have
or Melon?
barely
I
hit the
apologize.
hour mark. It's about an
asks,
hour.
While he never
We're
voiced
barely
this
even
in-game,
rolling,
Killen's
too.
feelings for Jester have been an important part of his
4
journey.
or 5
Did he
natural
ever come
20s.
close to confessing, or how was playing such a long-lasting one-sided love after last campaign's bittersweet ending for Vax and Kiki?
Dish girl.
I was never going to do romance of any kind, one-sided or otherwise, in this campaign, because I felt like we really explored that pretty heavily, campaign 1. I think you'll remember that Jester
Don't you make eyes at her?
I'm looking at the
Oh
table.
God, we're getting jealous. Getting jealous now. She's mine now. This is a whole new campaign, sir.
Remember that Jester
whole
drove
new
Caleb
campaign.
nuts at the
Don't you
beginning
take
of the
my girl.
campaign, so it was nothing that I ever expected at all. And then when they were in, was it Rexentrum, wherever the dance hall was, and I alluded to this earlier, dancing was never anything that I imagined for Caleb. It was just like, and you were asking him to dance. Jester was asking him to dance. I was like, oh, this could be an interesting way to like sort of seed my story that we're not really around yet. And there was something about not the dancing, but the way that Jester
the chair was nothing
treated him,
but it had
kindly
bothered the
after
players
fact. Like
so
his
much
response
that
was to
in
be like, I'm
campaign
gonna
3
go
a
fucking
player
vomit in a street
made
and just
it
be by
something.
myself, and she wouldn't let it happen. And that was just like this first little moment where someone was like, everyone in the Nine. I want to answer another question while I'm answering this. Like, I wonder if we had gone that different direction that we talked about earlier.
Where were these nat 20s during the campaign? Yeah, this is
from earlier.
a lot of
And
nat
if Caleb
20s.
had started interfacing with his past earlier, I think he would have had a gnarlier, more severe trajectory in this campaign. If he had touched his past sooner, it would have changed what he was. But he spent way
Yeah,
too
Star is
much
saying
with
they
the
got
Nine
8 chances to hit
for when
20.
we finally
Because there
did
are
catch
8
up
of them
with
rolling
it was
all at
too late.
once.
That
I just
he'd
feel
already
like
been kinda
that's still a
healed
lot of
enough
20s.
by the Nine that didn't matter. And everyone in the Nine had an effect on Caleb. They all had their love, like, in different ways. Yasha he could relate to. Caduceus was like a guru that confused but inspired. Ford, who Caleb thought was real hot at the beginning of the campaign, was like a great leader.
Super hot Ford over there.
And like just, I don't know, I feel like he was his closest friend outside of not early in the campaign. Bo brought tough love. Veth was this ultimate support no matter what happened. But what started to happen with Jester was that she was treating Caleb like the person she was treating him as if he was the person he should have been. Like none of it had happened. And he became like, it just got in him. But he would have never wanted to saddle her with all his shit. And the difference, like, there was also a point in the campaign where I could see in Yasha's absence Beauregard warming up to her, and I'd already quietly been thinking and going like, well, I'll just have this little thing that I'll like maybe fans will see, and some did early on. Like it was silent, it was all silent. And then I was like, well, Travis is never going to do it. Oh, Travis just came online, so the entire side of the table was like quietly like, oh. At Jester for a while.
Hey, Jester, when you have a second.
But Caleb knew that Bo and Ford would have been far better for her because they would have put aside anything for Jester and made her their number one. And Caleb knew that as much as she like changed him and helped him in a very specific way, and he quietly fell in love with her, and like a Jane Austen, I'm never going to say it. That he would never have set aside the things that he was trying to do. He would never have set aside trying to either get back to his parents and fix that. He would never set aside trying to undo the
Bo
Cerberus
also
assembly
became,
if he
like,
were
a sister
strong
to
enough.
Caleb.
So like
I like the
that
way
was too
Liam's
all-consuming, and so he would never want to
expressing all
saddle
this.
her with it. So it was always going to stay inside. And there were multiple times in the campaign where Jester teasingly like needled Caleb, and I was terrified that you would say the word insight check. Multiple times.
I think I did at once.
Well, you must have rolled really low when you
Yeah.
did, because I did my best to like pull faces at you and poo-poo it and do something silly to like dodge out of those
Are you
situations.
secretly in love with me?
And yeah,
Are
said
you
that, and I'm like,
secretly in love with
that's
me?
fucking ridiculous with my face, and we moved on.
Oh, shit.
It's so funny you joke about like the whole table being in love with Jester because like Jester had like no concept of it at all. Like her whole upbringing was everybody being in love with her mother, and like her whole, and she knew. Like,
And no
she's
spoilers,
so
but
different
Liam
from
and
Marion
Marisha
and,
don't
like,
have
her
anything like
appearance
this.
and the way she
Like
presents
their
herself.
first
That,
two
like,
dynamics in
to
campaign
her,
3.
like that is what people want. That's what everybody would be in love with. And so like there was never like she would never have thought in a million years that Bo would have been interested, or that Caleb would have been interested, or that Ford would have been interested. Like she tried to be Marion when she was coming on to him in the early campaign, and obviously it did not work. So she was like, okay, then that's not gonna happen for me. So it just like turned off in her brain, like nobody will.
There was a moment where that stopped too, because like you doing the thing that you thought your mom did and that worked. You know, Ford's like, I've never been flirted with before. I don't know what this is. Stop doing it. All that behavior stopped, and you kind of like let the happy gesture fall away.
Yeah.
Like I think it was like on the sea, right?
The
like,
happy
with the jellyfish
gesture.
scene, and then it all
That's
kind
where
of
you
happened.
started like crying. There was a few times where there was like these moments of like Jester smiling, but tears were streaming down her face, trying to be like the happiest person in the room. Mm-hmm. And then I don't know. Jester always had this like, but I think why Jester is so enigmatic and so easy to fall in love with is because she is the purest person in the room. So that it invites this kind of...
Which doesn't even mean innocent. It just means the purest person.
Pure. Right. Yeah. It's just very endearing and kind of in the way, and this is almost going to sound condescending, but almost in the way that a child is. Where if like a little girl runs up to you and they're like, look at this card, I think I want to cover the whole thing in glitter. You kind of have no choice but to be like, yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah. Cover the whole thing and like, even if it's bad. She felt like almost like the perfect exercise for yes-anding, like the concept of yes-anding, because half of them were terrible ideas, but you were like, yeah, brilliant.
Don't do it in the car. Oh, you did it in the car. It's okay.
We can vacuum it up.
Never
Honestly,
says
it wasn't her.
children,
I totally
animals, or
agree.
just
I
people.
totally understand what she's saying.
You also, I feel like people are drawn to
Like I don't take it
somebody who
as
sees
an.
the best in
I
them,
wouldn't
right?
take it
Like,
as an insult. That is literally how Laura
you're
played
drawn
the
to
character.
somebody that loves you.
I
and
think I've
she
said
just
this
has,
many
like,
times myself,
unconditional
where
love
like
for,
you,
like everybody in the.
you almost just
Everyone she
accept
meets,
it,
including a hag in a hut.
because it is hilarious, and she
Which is why it's so surprising that you
free
told
spirit
me that you were
type of
having
person.
an illicit affair with Orly the whole time. Like an illicit.
I did not think that was going to come up in this particular.
Turtle power.
Turtle power.
That's why he dressed up as Orly for Halloween.
Good old
Even I
Orly.
think
The
back,
weirdest episode I've ever
One of my
role-played.
favorites.
There's one last element that I want to touch on that, and because the way it relates to Essek and Astrid and Eadwulf. Caleb's start with Astrid and Eadwulf was like they were aggressively intelligent
It's a lot
and
of
driven as
names
fuck
that
and
sound
hot.
close in the beginning.
And
Essek,
that did
Astrid,
not go well
Eadwulf.
for Caleb. That
I know
fucking
one's an
burned
A,
him worse than anything
It sounded
ever could
very
have.
like they were
And
grouped
Essek,
together for a
who
reason.
Caleb thought was so like intellectually attractive and sexually attractive, and was like he was really drawn to him, but that was like, I've done that, and I put my hand on that stove and it fucking burned my hand off. I can't. Jester was so different than anything that he'd been wrapped up in before that it was
Those
like
rare
Aikido,
moments
just like
of letting the
disarmed all his
mask
defenses.
slip.
Anyway, that's the end of that.
That's the end of that.
how about another fan question?
Another fan question?
Sure, why not?
Do we get another
Why
natural
does that
20?
keep happening?
12.
12.
Balls. 14.
No, 19. We got a 19.
Allison, go.
Yeah.
I've got
Close
one from
enough.
Matt from Blue Snake 462. It was mentioned that everyone was surprised when Liam gave up the Luxon. That's true. What were your original plans for the party and the Luxon, and how were they changed in the moment of handing it over to the Bright Queen? And as an extension, how would the campaign have been different if the party had never gained the favor of the Bright Queen? I imagine we'd be dead, but I'm not.
It would definitely have made things more
Very
difficult, I
poorly.
feel like.
Interesting point.
Like the
So I
video, if you have not,
introduced the
everybody,
beacon
we are
to
12
kind of
likes
your
away
path,
from
hoping that
bonus
you guys would
bonus
take
time.
it, because
12
it would just
likes.
be this constant
We are
magnet for
10
trouble.
minutes away.
To have this extremely important focal
Roughly 10
point
minutes
to
away
this
from
growing conflict
the
between two
mid-break.
political,
I feel like the mid-break, I thought I saw 140.
and having to keep
So
it
we're
secret,
like,
keep it
we're
safe
still into
while
bonus
everyone's
time, so
looking
don't
for
worry.
it,
There's
and
10
people
minutes,
who happen
then we're
to
going
catch
into
it are like,
bonus
what's
time.
that? You know, it's just it's trying to hide something that does not want to be hidden in a lot of ways. Very One Ring-esque. And so I was excited that you guys ran with it.
Travis was
there was a lot
livid.
of unique bartering that it could allow
What is
you
this?
based on how long you maintained it and any of the interactions you went with. both within the Empire or within
stream
the
still
Dynasty. But you
running
were the caretakers of it. You could have kept it your own. It could have led to a lot of
I got a screen thing
research
that says
and
error.
creation of
YouTube is not
dunamantic
receiving
spells
enough
and
video to
abilities for
maintain
multiple
smooth
people if it
streaming.
had been held for a long time, and all of you
Are
could
we
have
all
in some
good
way, shape,
here?
or form
Are we
begun
all
to
good on
dabble in
the stream?
dunamancy beyond just
Like the video if you
arcane
haven't.
casting, elements there.
I just want to make sure we're moving smoothly.
But it would have had the challenge of you constantly looking over your shoulders, constantly in the threat of being hunted down, and having characters come into your life that would have
12 likes away, everybody.
probably
We're almost over
eventually
40
either
people in the
discovered or
chat.
been
So like the
seeking
video.
it within your
If you're new,
space. And that
give me
was
your
gonna be the
name. Shout
interesting
out to
pull
me.
of
You
it.
get a
So when
shot. Shot
gave it to
for
the Bright
whoever's
Queen,
new.
that all went away.
Shout out in the chat. Yeah.
But
Shout out
conversely,
in the chat.
you
Am I saying that in
immediately
English?
bought you kind of game sharked the enemy side. Where like part of the intent was to go into Xhorhas and realize after all this propaganda from
Good
the
on my
Empire has
end,
been
yeah,
fed
hiccup,
you
yeah,
about
for some
the
reason I got
dynasty
a
and how bad
thing
they
up
were.
that
Xhorhas
says
is a place of demons and
the
murderers.
video
and
is
stuff. And
not
you
as
go there
smooth or
and
something,
you
but
meet
it's
these people
still
and realize,
going.
no, they're actually just like everyone on the other side. In some cases, even better. And that's all just bullshit propaganda. But it was going to be a way of you earning your way up through the structure and meeting people and possibly doing jobs and kind of earning favor in certain spaces and maybe even never even
There it
encounter
goes.
the
It's back to
Bright Queen
excellent
beyond.
now. I don't know why I did that.
One time.
We jumped into the
But then you
40s
immediately
and then it happened.
got
I'm
caught,
wondering
brought
if
to her, and I was like,
I'm
well, this would
wondering
be
if
the
it
one
had
time
to
they
do
meet her
with
if they can manage to
more
convince
people jumping
her
into
to
the live
like
stream or
take
something.
her under and assign them to somebody or break free or whatever. You gave her the beacon and became immediate heroes.
Yeah.
Immediate
So yeah, it
heroes
greatly
of the Bright
changed
Queen.
the trajectory in
I
a
mean,
really, really
I'd
cool
want it
way.
no other way.
And it went from like this empire-based narrative and like the slow discovery of
I
how
want
things are not
to
what
be
you
the
thought on the other
Pumpkin
side
King.
to fuck the empire. Now we're here. Now
I
we're on this
am
side,
the
and then that
Pumpkin
led to
King.
discovery of over time that things are bad in the empire, but there are still good people there, and it became this kind of straddling the line of what do you ally with, if at all. So yeah, it made a really, really cool story that I wasn't expecting to kind of hit a lot of those layers and that.
It was so cool to be on both sides of that because we had backstage passes to both concerts. Like,
Yeah.
we
Kinda,
first it was Dynasty and we thought it would be Empire, and then we
In
went back
8
to the Empire
minutes,
and we were like,
we're gonna
"Hey,
do
we have
the
this thing.
bonus
you wanna
shot.
fuck with us or what?" Like,
I'm gonna pour it now.
Gave us all this clout.
Pouring it now. Who
It changed things a lot. I
wants
think how it would've been
bonus
different,
time shot
to go off
dedicated
my-
to
my
them?
earlier point on
Somebody
that
in this
too, is
chat's
it
got to
would-
be
climbing through
somebody who
Dynasty
hasn't
as people
spoke out
mostly
yet.
from the Empire.
Oh, I'm supposed to do the
outward
shot
facing would have
for
been a
the
club.
Azure
Would have been
Sky.
challenging, and it would have been
If the Azure
making
Sky
a lot
is
of
still here.
allies and trying
If you're
to
still here, shout out.
continuously
If
prove
not,
yourselves as
anybody
not
new
the
in
enemy,
the chat.
not working for the Empire as
drinking
spies, and
flavored whiskey.
yeah, it would have been a much harder path, but you cheated it.
You cheated it. We cheated it.
Xhorhas. I loved the Dynasty. I
Oh,
wish
me
we-
too.
I wish we could have spent more time there. I mean, we spent a lot of time.
Shore House. I
But-
just downloaded a movie called
had a
Crazy
house
House
there,
with
I know, but we never got to go back.
Nick Frost
That's
I
not
know,
to say.
whatever
from
happened to our housekeeper?
the
Yeah.
Cornetto
Sure.
trilogy.
How's our house?
I heard it is wildly
How's
insane,
Housekeeper?
but every time I think of Shore House, I think of
Oh, will you stop
Crazy
paying her?
House. 10 likes
I'm sure
away
you-
Free house
from
to live
bonus
in.
bonus.
Back pay though, you gotta hang
We
around.
paid her a bit in advance.
You
I think we
did.
paid her like 1 month in advance.
Yeah. So in my mind,
Real money.
in my mind, she left. But if you
We're
were to
so
return
cheap.
and like
We didn't
payback
even pay her
with
with
some on top, she'd
fake
probably
money.
come back. And I like the Xhorhas is still there. You guys still
One
have
more stream
friendship
before
and,
campaign one.
and station.
I think
Yeah,
so.
like that house
We're
is
gonna
still
jump into
yours, Sarah.
bonus
The
time.
worst.
But yeah,
the
then
worst
we'll,
neighbors,
this is it,
just
right,
like
guys?
Everybody hates
Is there
us.
another wrap-up video?
Yeah.
Is this
Guys
the
went through
end?
twice
This
a year. They get
video?
together for a week and
Or is there more wrap-ups?
reconvene.
I think
Can
this
we
is
have
it.
like daylight coming out of our
Which
tree?
would mean
like
we're gonna
something that
conclude
everybody
this
hates
next
there.
week,
It's like,
and then
God,
There's
Yeah.
lanterns in the tree that
pretty
make it
much
glow,
the
but
end
it's
of
not like
January into
it's-
February.
Right,
We'll
it's
be
I'm sure it
starting
attracts a lot of insects.
new.
So we're not like National
Critical
Lampoon's
stuff.
Christmas Vacation.
It'd be so gross, like algae all over it.
It's just like, yes, perfect.
Yeah.
Self-maintaining.
It's like
there's stuff
nutrient
happening.
rich.
It's like when you're living in a humble neighborhood
Nutrient
and all of a sudden
rich.
like this giant house gets built in the corner and like some 20-year-old YouTuber moves in and just keeps throwing parties. Like that's you guys.
Influence.
Oh, I hate it.
Reminds me of Neighbors. Was that the name of the movie with Seth Rogen?
Hey everybody!
What was the movie with Seth Rogen?
Check it out.
I'm pretty sure it was neighbors.
Nice Linux phone.
Where the frat moves next door, it'd be like that. That's what the shore house is.
Do we need to ask this last fan question? I'm going to just do it.
Sure, do it.
Last question, and then it's break time. We're not taking a break.
Asks, who exactly was in the pile of bones that Caleb instantly incinerated with a flaming sphere, leading to the tearing of a character sheet on camera? Didn't that happen in the first campaign too?
Yeah, in the Underdark.
Liam,
in the
didn't
tunnel.
kill somebody who was kind of important?
Underdark, right?
Yeah.
Tomb of the Unknown NPC.
Yeah.
Tomb of the Unknown PC.
If I recall correctly, this is when you guys were going in the giants.
Caleb's aunt and uncle.
Right. Yeah.
God. Finishing the job.
Yeah.
Is that a Star Wars
I think you guys
reference?
This is in Jorhas when you guys were leaving
Aunt and
Rossona to go
Uncle,
inspect
Aunt Beru and
the,
Uncle Owen
the
getting
giant's
shard
den in the Vermaloc.
in Tatooine.
We went to a fort, right? And then from the fort we went to...
Yeah.
Correct, because the giants were forced
10
out
likes
of their
away,
home
everybody.
and
We are
occupied
almost
the
single
the
digits
mining
from
camp there in
double
the fort.
bonus time.
So you went there, and yeah, there was a goblin that essentially was like quietly and secretly living in there and kind of like living off the scraps that the giants left behind. And
I do remember this. I wasn't 100% sure, but now I want 100%
That was going to be
remember.
a source of information about what dangers you could face here, about what's happened to the giants, and present
was a
information
cute,
about Vence
lovely character.
Vitalis, who was that was when you started finally following the thread that led to Oban, that led to everything there, and the device that he had placed in it. The goblin was like, saw him place it and was going to begin to give all this information
Oh my
to set
God,
you on
that's
that
hilarious.
path. And then ashes.
Yeah, man.
I kind of needed a refresher, but I do remember that specifically. I remember now.
We still eventually found
so
the
we
thread
would
in
have
a
gotten.
roundabout way, but
I mean,
like,
we
I was
still,
like,
we still
okay.
ended up finding our way.
That's a temporary dead end.
But we
Speaking of
incinerated
New Thalis's,
a decent
before we
person
move on
that would
from
have
this
actually
arc,
helped us along our journey.
I have to know. I know Danny
Decent
Carr has to
goblin.
know. Who was Varen, Essex's brother? We never got to meet Essex's brother.
Yeah, you didn't.
And in my head, he's also super hot.
Varen, Essex's brother? Yes, obviously.
Yeah, he's kind of the himbo of the family in my mind. He's
keep going.
He's the younger, taller, the more athletic brother of the
What is
family.
a himbo? I've never heard that in my life.
No. He
is the himbo of the family? I've never heard that phrase, that word, that description.
Right.
H-I-M-B-O, the
Essek
himbo.
floats.
He wears Vans.
Do tell
Just like-
what a himbo is. I mean, basically a himbo is Essex's brother,
He's just
apparently.
constantly drifting. He's just like... No, he's just kind of, as opposed to his brother,
Essex's
who's
brother
very much
probably
eschewed
lives
the
in
dynasty
the
culture.
Jor house.
His parents were very deeply steeped in the culture. Varen kind of rides the line where he understands why his brother is the way he is, but he also believes a lot in the dynasty and the faith that the Luxon and the whole idea gives, and he like partially believes it, but he's like, yeah, I'm Christian kinda because I was raised on it, but I'm also not evangelical.
They have a Luxon rock band.
Probably,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have a
He's got a little
rock
puka shell
band.
necklace with the little symbol of the breakbeat on it.
Puka shell.
Yep.
Luxon talk.
Think of benign frat bros, okay?
Beacon will rise.
Think of Fabio.
Oh my God.
He
This has
and
gotten away
Bimbo.
from me
A himbo.
entirely.
Oh my God, is that what it is? A
To no one's
bimbo?
surprise.
But with an H? I love it.
I love this.
He's a himbo. I've never heard that before.
He's stationed at Bazzoxan.
I mean, Fabio, I get it. Think of benign frat bro, got it. Grog is the closest Vox Machina had to a himbo. All right, totally got it. I just never heard that before. Most characters that Matthew McConaughey plays,
He's
I
not like
would probably agree.
upper ranking warrior, but he's pretty well respected, and he kind of the only bond that Essek had before any of you was with him growing up. He's like the brother that kind of
I
got
would
him
say
and got
every
along okay in a
Matthew
family
McConaughey,
that
probably not
Essek did
Dallas
get along
Buyers
with at
Club.
all, and was surrounded by
Dallas
people he didn't get
Buyers
along
Club
with. But
is the one
you
Matthew
never crossed
McConaughey one I
paths
can
with
think
him?
of where he
you would
wasn't.
have if you had probably spent more
himbo.
time or asked around for more
There's probably others.
people of station in Bazzoxan. But you guys only stayed there for a night and then defaced property. and then left.
Bazzoxan.
Which happens.
Another great name.
Yeah, no, it makes all the sense.
Grog definitely got
You did.
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah, we
And
did.
you changed
When
the
he
sign
got
of,
his beer.
of the inn you were staying. So.
Yeah, what did I change the name to? I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Balzazan?
Probably.
So many
Bolozan.
dick signs.
Well, before we move on to Arc 4, we should check in with Sumali Montano.
See, I thought this was the break. I thought 139 was the break.
Why you should never piss off your mother.
So we got Sumali. We got Sumali now.
All right, I'm here as Sumali, the cast and fan favorite guest of campaign 2.
We got about a 5-minute interview with Somali. All right, 5 minutes with Somali. And then
it's so
we'll take a little
to have you
breather.
back.
We'll take a break. We'll reset the
talking
clock.
about your wonderful
and we're jumping into bonus time
from campaign 2. I know we
keep
talked a little bit
liking.
about
We're
this
almost
before,
to double
but for
bonus
those who
time. Keep
who don't know
liking
and
the
haven't
video,
seen you,
everybody.
On Talks Machina,
Who
tell
wants
us
the shot
about the
dedicated?
inspiration behind
If you're new in the
Mila,
chat.
if you will.
New in the
Definitely
chat.
part of
Say
what inspired
something.
me is my dad.
And you get it
He's
dedicated to you.
For sure, like the guy who instilled in me my love of nature and my love of animals and trees. And he's literally a tree hugger. And so am I. Like,
yeah,
he literally
like
goes out and hugs trees on the daily.
That I was pregnant, like in real life, not as Mila, but in real life, I literally went out to the woods. I went out to these like amazing Tamir woods, actually, in Northern California, and I literally just like hugged the tree.
No way! I love it.
Literally, like, okay, give me your goodness, share with me.
We're gonna have the shot as soon as Somali's done. So
that's just
if you're new
so
in
my
the
dad
chat,
definitely instilled that in me.
like the video, say what's up.
What was your favorite moment of your time on the show?
I'll kind of roll it up into one thing, which is how much everyone embraced me and made me feel so, like at the table, made me feel so welcome and so comfortable to do something that I'd never done. And literally, like,
now I'm expecting everyone.
Between Matt guiding me through the
when we saw Kyrie, I thought it was just going to be randos.
Amazing storytelling.
We've now got Ashley Birch,
gifts that would
Somali,
that always came up.
Kyrie.
Like, I mean, Ashley, I can't remember exactly what she did, but she basically was like, "Will you say the word fuck?" And I'm like,
"Oh yeah."
That was like the perfect like setup. I like, and you can't script things like that. You can't expect things like that. But when you're playing with people who are so generous and so understanding of the game, I just felt like everybody, it felt like a big warm hug when I was on set.
Yes, yes. Is there anything about Mila that you didn't get to reveal during the
Night
game?
and Day
that you
voice
want the
types,
critters,
and Somali got to voice
every once
High
in a
Bearer
while,
Vord in
bored,
Legend of Vox Machina Season 2.
She's tempted to nibble
I
on stuff
don't know
in her
if I
smell
remember
bag.
that.
What kind
Pretty
of
much
stuff?
anyone performing in the Thunder Down Under.
The smell bag has a whole, it has all sorts of things in there. We had
love
talked about
Neela.
this on
She was
Talks
such
before,
a
but,
litany.
it's
mama
got
bear.
Everything from
I enjoyed her too. She's up there.
Mosses and bones of creatures or animals that I had the special.
I like how they just
relationship
threw
with,
them in the bottom there for a little
it smells good.
round
to
of
Neela.
applause, so to
and
speak.
so
Yes.
sitting there, sometimes nothing to do.
Yeah, curiosity.
Yeah, you smell it and you just like,
The smell bag.
If I just tasted, not on that bone, just a little bit.
I thought of that with a couple of dog treats that looked really appealing.
Right? It's exactly the same thing.
What do you think Neela's up to now?
I think I decided that I wanted to have another baby. So like we have another baby for Wolg in the family.
Okay.
I think we've gone back to our home tribe. However, before we left, we grafted this cool like plant that was able to protect the temple, but and keep anything like any of the encroaching evil plants and evilness away. And of course, like I checked in with the smell bag to make sure that it was going to hold and that we would be okay going back. Once we had another baby, it was like,
what is up,
Daniel
Day?
Go back to the home tribe.
Yeah.
But check in and come back every so often. But we use the smell bag to make sure that everything is
okay.
Still stay safe.
What do you
make sure everything is okay? Always have a smell bag, everybody.
Family.
Patricia, who was the guest that played a Dragonborn that was cursed? Oh, we're talking
the family you're born into,
Kalyana.
your found family.
There we go.
People always talk about how important that is, and to me, like
Somali also had a
Nine,
brief appearance in Star Trek Picard Season 1.
Yeah.
I feel like I might
played
have
such
seen
a memorable
that.
character.
I'm
And
not
I know
even
the
a
cast
fan
was so lucky to have you and grateful to have you
Star Trek.
on the
Nothing
show
against
for
it. I
campaign
just
two.
never
And
seen
thanks for coming
most of it.
today to.
But I feel
to
like
talk
I
about
do
Neela some more.
remember because I had seen some of Picard.
It's absolutely my pleasure, and because of you guys, I have become a huge D&D fan.
Yes.
So I play it with my family now. My son is totally into it, and that is.
I feel like if you
that's such a lovely gift.
get involved,
That's mission accomplished.
especially on the level
That's mission
she did, you
accomplished,
can't
man.
help
Thank you
but
so
become
much,
a fan
Somali.
of it.
Thanks, Bryce.
Oh dear.
All right, I think we're taking break time, but we're already into bonus time, everybody. So we're gonna reset the clock.
I love it.
Let's see what
all right, you
Marisha
guys,
has to
before we
say.
jump into Arc 4, we're going to take a quick break.
Oh,
Quick break.
See you back in a second.
All right, see you back in a second. Let's see where it restarts. Ooh, it's a hell of a break. 20. Oh no, 20. Oh no, it's about normal. 22 minutes. Yeah, it's about normal. Let's get to the break. I also saw a reverse unicorn jumped in. Hello to reverse unicorn.
And
Get it up. All right, there we go. Thank you. We're gonna right here. Boop. There we go. Boop. We'll go there. 207.49. 207.49, everybody. So stop that clock. Reset. 207.49. Set the time. I just want to make sure I said that right. 207.49. All right. There is the clock. The clock is right. We're going to do Arc 4. We will probably have enough time to go to Arc 5 with bonus time. So everybody, if you did not like the video, we're actually 8 away from bonus time. I always round, like, you know, we don't do a whole nother 50 likes. We usually go to 75. I feel like we've hit 100 likes, maybe twice over the course of the entire campaign, which has been going on for, like, give or take almost 3 years. We've been watching campaign 2. I want to say, like, approaching 3 years. But I feel like we hit 100 likes twice. And one of the times, it might only be once, but I feel like if it was once, the one time we did was when it was like a 6-hour live stream. So this would be impressive if we actually got close. I mean, we're already approaching 75, but I forgot they had checked in with Neela. Reverse Unicorn is here. Patricia, I loved Bowlgate. They did bring up Bowlgate in the first like 5 minutes of the wrap up. It was basically just mentioned as, you know, to mention it. It wasn't really talked about per se, but Marisha brought it up as like a joke. Only about twice since I joined. Yeah, I think we've hit 100 likes twice. But yeah, Arc 4 also, the Oban arc. What I did not like about Bowlgate was the unfair discourse that resulted. Yeah, we had our own discussions about Bowlgate. I forget if I don't know, Adam, were you around way back when we were watching Bowlgate? I know Adam's been around a while, but like I feel like most of the people came after or during Arc 2. I feel like we were already starting to build our family, but I can't remember specifically who joined when as far as our group here. So there's a good chance Adam was around back then. I can't remember. I know Adam's been around for a good while. If it wasn't then, it was like shortly after. 75 means a full hour. 75 means we're gonna see, because I don't honestly know how much time we have. What are we at? 2:07. Where's it go to? There's about 2 hours left. Let's see. Maybe bonus time will do the next arc. I'm trying to see where the next arc ends and starts. Is the next arc... Well, this is like a long one, apparently. Oh, I don't want to get spoiled. I just saw somebody. I don't want to get spoiled. Who's up? I just saw somebody talking to Brian Forster. So... just keep liking. We will do bonus time. I don't know what that entails yet. We'll see how far we get. Because I also want to leave enough. I mean, I don't know. Is it something... like, I didn't see what Michael said after. Is this it? Is there a wrap-up part 2? Or is this the final episode of everything Campaign 2 that we're going to watch going into Campaign 1. Bo was wrong during Bullgate. I mean, I don't know if we're going to get back down that road again. But, Michael. But yeah, Arc 4 also, the Oban arc. Bullgate is fascinating because Bo is wrong, but cannot admit it because she cannot admit to have a flaw, and Caleb will accept being wrong to self-flagellate its peak psychological understanding. Anyway, I'll be in and out, leaving for work. This be it for the next 4 years or so. This is the final thing before Campaign 1 for you. This is it. All right, so this is it. So let's see what happens. Let's roll with Arc 4, see where Arc 4 ends. We'll see if we hit 75 likes. I mean, we're really close to 75 likes. We'll see if we even hit it. We're likely to, but this shot will go out to Reverse Unicorn. Reverse Unicorn, you get the shot because I feel like you are one of the newer people in the chat of recent. I mean, most of these people I've known for years at this point. Reverse Unicorn, you are definitely one of the newer ones, and I like to do shout outs to the people that are continuing to join us and are newer. So Reverse Unicorn, this is to you. Cheers. If anybody else is new in the chat, throw a comment in and I will have the next shot for you because we'll have at least one more shot after this before it all concludes. So cheers to Reverse Unicorn, everybody, and to you all. Love you all. Football also starts in an hour and a half. Those of you who don't know. See, the other thing is I do have to finish. I have like 20 to 30 minutes left of an edit to finish, and football starts at 4:30. So if we start right now, we do the bonus time. If we had double bonus time, I mean, it's going to cut really close, but I mean, hey, we do what we got to do. So everybody get ready. Chimiki, delete that fast. Oh, I didn't, all I saw was Chimiki delete that fast, and it got deleted as I was reading it. So here we go, everybody. 27:49 on, 2:07:49 on the clock. 3, 2, 1, go.
And welcome back.
Let's see where Arc
Jumping into
4
Arc
ends.
4.
So far, every
This
arc's
is like
been about
Yasha's
30
big
minutes.
arc.
Because
This
think about it.
is
We did an hour
Oban and the Chained
and
Oblivion
35 minutes.
And
Hour and 40 minutes.
Was
But that
this all
counted
Happy Fun
all
Ball
of
stuff?
the interviews.
No.
I feel like each arc ended with an
thank you,
interview.
Danny. A little bit. We went back to the Happy
And they were
Fun
roughly
Ball.
30 to 35 minutes
I
each.
think. Yeah.
So,
yes.
We played this game for a lot of
Happy Fun
years.
Ball.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we're going to go about 30 minutes to get to
Because it
Arc
all
5.
kind of is just one. I mean,
yeah, it all
An amorphous jumble.
I mean,
yep.
Amorphous jumble.
It's part of the fun.
The amorphous
It was the only
jumble.
thing that happened, so it really is strange on that
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Oh God.
The only
very
marker of time I
true.
have.
I
Sorry,
can pick it
things
up.
to save
I wanna
him
know what Yasha
slash
and
spoilers.
Oban's
Sorry, trying to
history
save
was.
him slash
what-
spoilers.
about that too.
Few.
Because a lot of it,
That was too specific. Now I'm curious.
obviously, Yasha
I don't even know what it was related to.
there
I just
for,
saw
but,
immediately
you know,
take that
mind
down,
controlled
and it
puppeted.
like vanished
Yeah.
instantly.
So from how I kind of interpreted the story was after Yasha had left the Dolorov and kind of
left
had
the
a bit of
Dolorov.
kind of a psychological break at some point from just like the trauma and the wastes, kind of went feral in the wastes of Jorhas. Very much kind of not using language much, kind of living by killing and eating whatever came her way, and aimless and wandering. And Oban, who had begun the plotting in the name of the Angel of Irons, which he didn't know was the Chain of Oblivion. It was just this entity that came to him and spoke to him. This being that promised an undying future.
Unusual things
If
take
he could
so
just
long to
begin
delete
to corrupt these
on
fanes
your
and call
end.
together these undying warriors.
You get to them
that were
before
brought to
they
him through
vanish.
visions. And
Lucked
the one that was
out
closest
today.
to him at the time, as he was
Stuff that will
traveling through
come up
Jorhas
once you're done with
in his
Campaign
kingdom,
1
was this lost,
and whatever
feral,
else.
undying proto-angel. This
Then starting Campaign
being that
3.
wasn't quite at the level of strength to resist death, but had the promise to do so, and it was his charge to kind of train her up. And so that's when he found Yasha as this feral being and left his mark and essentially took her mind and will as his own and began to train her up by sending her and as his kind of his bodyguard, and also going to all these different fanes of just general arcane ley line power, much like how there are these ley lines of magical energy that shift and cruise across Exandria, almost like the Northern Lights in an invisible spectrum, except to those who can understand magic. Like the ziggurat beneath Whitestone was at one of these nexuses, you know, and a lot of these older structures were built to kind of gather and use these spaces where the magic is strongest and where things converge. He would use Yasha to begin to corrupt some of these fanes in the name of the Angel of Irons, and in doing so kind of began to lead this kind of hungering, the subtle hunger corruption throughout the land. That's why the early parts of the campaign had this like theme of things going mad over the need to devour and the need to just consume.
So nice
and
of you
grow.
guys. Do the job for us. We really appreciate it. I just got
keeping that theme going.
to sit in the background and enjoy like a normal
Yasha
viewer.
was essentially his right hand man. I think I've said it before, but like
Everybody
very much kind of like
watching
Purple Man and Jessica Jones.
each other's
like,
backs.
You know,
It
he
is
would
a
be like,
beautiful
all right,
thing.
kill that for me, and she would go and do it. But a lot of that, and kind of the trauma of that experience, her brain protected her by not recording this time period until eventually she took it went too far and she broke free and he lost her in the wastes, and that was where she found the Stormlord. And the Stormlord was the first entity to kind of reach out at this broken statue of the Stormlord and helped kind of heal her mind a bit and give her a direction to go.
When we've been working on the comic book, and I forgot about this in the last game that we played, but you had said the amount of time that she was with Oban that I didn't realize it was that long.
Mm-hmm.
Can we say how long it was? Or do you want to?
I gave a vague space. I mean, I considered it to be
Please
the
tell
period
us.
of like a year or two. Like it was
Which was longer than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long time to have somebody in your head.
Yeah, and so like the
I mean, that
the way
is
I kind of
significant.
interpreted it was there was a
That is
lot
pretty
there was a lot of growth
significant.
of Yasha's during that time as this kind of controlled persona that was lost when she broke free and became herself. That experience was kind of essentially shunted from her mind to heal. So there was a time period in that lost time where Yasha was operating at a very powerful level under his control. But that's how I interpreted it, at least. So that was my intent for it.
Juice. Bad.
Yeah, and he wasn't looking for her. He thought she was lost. It was like, well, I have to go find out what the next.
I should have left for work 15 minutes ago, but one of my sister's dogs
and then when you
stole
crossed paths with him again
a
in
shoe,
Jorhas outside
and
of
I had to hunt it
Rossana,
down.
he was
I was like, bad dog
or
out. Now I get
sorry,
it.
so,
We're
no,
all
it was Rossana.
mods. Some of us just get
He was
the
just like,
blue.
oh, well, that's
the blue
convenient.
honorific.
I wondered where you got off to.
Bad doggo. Mike,
You got some
you
friends
gotta
with you.
run.
You know what?
You're
Follow me.
fine. When do you
You
have
can
to
do
be
some of
at
this work
work,
for
Mike?
me.
If you're even still here. Mike should probably already
I
have
have
left.
oh, sorry.
Michael, go to work.
Go.
Okay, going off.
We've
of
only got
this is technically I think
25
an
minutes
Arc 1
left.
question,
Less than 25
but
minutes left. Bonus time. We're
Trent
into bonus
Tickethon,
time,
right?
everybody.
Eyeballed Yasha up and down and was like, "Oh, you, come talk to me. I want more with what you're about." What did Trent want with Yasha?
So, Trent is the kind of
I think
individual
Trent just wants powerful
that
beings. Jeff
will
Lundy, are we
subtly
sure we
cast
want to
detect
do
thoughts or
campaign
his
1 next?
variation of
It's
the
a lot of
detect thought
bad
spell
audio
in mixed company,
rehashing.
just to see
If
what's
things
behind everybody's exterior.
3:30,
So he
Mike
just,
has to be at
in
work.
party atmospheres,
Jeff, they're probably going to tell you.
He has a way
we
of
got
doing that
the
in a subtle way where he'll just be like,
remastered
people
edition.
are talking, he'll just kind of lean
Michael
over and
asked for permission,
kinda
and somebody
hear
is
some of their thoughts a bit
remastering
just to
all
get a
of
feel.
the campaign
Sometimes to
1
draw secrets
videos,
that
and
are
we're going to
useful
start with
for
the
blackmail in the future,
remastered ones.
or to figure
I
out
heard
what
they're
things might be
phenomenally
secretly
better.
being planned behind the scenes. So
I
he can be
haven't
ready.
watched it yet, so I
you know,
don't
he's
know.
just one of those paranoid type individuals. And with Yasha, there was just something about her presence. He was like, she's curious. So he did that and picked up shreds of her past that even she probably had lying dormant, which he was like, there is, for an individual that was in the middle of this Zadash Harvest Close Festival celebration, and now we're sitting in this room, there is some dark
And Jay
shit
wants to
in your past.
Broad or
And he
critical
sensed
role. Jeff, we have
the angelic
access
blood,
to the
the
remote.
celestial blood. And was like, there, you are intriguing, and I don't fully know why, but I'm just curious. And that was as far as it got, because then you guys ran off.
And they don't have Twitch
he
chat
clocked
on
it.
screen.
But that was what went down there.
Be honest, he read Veth's thoughts and he heard, never
Mike.
gonna give you up, never gonna let you.
Yeah, essentially.
Trent is the worst.
Kind of a side note to all of that. The laughing hand, who was with him, was very similar to like a lot of the things that we ran into in Aor.
Trent was
What was the
bad.
connection
Trent is a
there?
horrible
like, was
piece
it,
of crap.
Did the laughing hand come from that?
But
That's
great
right.
for the
No,
storyline.
different-
Like a
different
great
entity,
villain.
But there, how do I put this? There is intentional, subtle threads of connection. Cognosa, the living city, the Somnavum, and the whole
Like Trent,
Cognosa world,
he was very
happenstance.
unforgettable.
That was circumstantial. Its creation,
The way they presented him and
the
everything.
scattering.
I'll always remember Trent Ikathon.
Of the thousands of minds that lived there, and the combining them in madness and destruction, and then slowly climbing their way back to a semblance of combined sentience and emergence, wasn't the Chained Oblivion's doing by any means. But as time went on, it had a unique enough parallel where it caught his attention, and so he was just kind of helping it along in ways, helping form those dreams, helping kind of inform the shape it would eventually take. I like to imagine the Chained Oblivion as not this extremely, how do I put it? This extremely well plotted out entity of will that has, machinations of intricate plans upon plans upon plans.
Trent still
It
to
is
this
more
day
just a
feels way
force of
ickier
destruction,
and more villainous
devouring, and nothingness. And anything that kind of
than
fits into that
someone I
realm,
can't name
it will
from Campaign
twist
3.
intent.
Be gone,
it will
icky
twist,
thought.
Perspective. It will
Says
do whatever
Adam
it can to kind of
Espinosa.
seep into it subtly. And the Angel of Irons was one path that kind of honestly was more informed by Oban than the than the Chained Oblivion. The idea of like, I don't know, this is a little esoteric, but like the idea that if you Stephen King's it.
Like and
The creature
subscribe if you
takes the
haven't,
form of whatever
anybody.
is the scariest.
We are
to whoever
4
perceives it.
likes away
and
from
there are
double
different stories that tell
overtime.
that. The Chained Oblivion, when it begins
4
to corrupt
likes, that's
somebody,
it, 4
this
likes
corruption,
away.
this
If not,
entity, this
we're under
this-
20
this
minutes till we're done.
thing that is the Chained Oblivion's influence takes the form of whatever the creature thinks it might be looking for. And that's kind of how it ends up masquerading in my mind, in my world, as different cults, as different figures, as different ways that it just undermines society.
Cool. And considering
and so
what
the
the
Angel of
one
Irons
is
was kind of a
up
creation
to,
of Oban looking for something
what that
to follow
one is
and
up
kind
to,
of
that takes real
it allowed
character.
him to create this entity.
Yeah, the
that he
Angel
was
of
looking
Irons
to
is
without
just
knowing what
one
it
big
was.
catfishing
And at the same point, Cognosa kind
scheme
of became
by the
something
Chained
that he just kind
Oblivion.
of subtly wanted to happen because they had a similar. He knew it would come to a goal of his, which is
Great
the
characters.
annihilation
I mean,
of
Matt
everything and
is a
darkness
genius.
forever.
I don't know if people
And so
helped
that was
Matt
actually
with all
why
these
Kingston,
thoughts and
Kingsley's
characters and stuff.
Towards
I
the end
mean,
of the campaign, that one
they
little
thought of their
memory
own
I threw
characters,
in
but
there
Matt
of,
is
that
glorious.
weird, lingering memory of the birth of the city. You see these black chains shattering in this ancient will. That was kind of the Chained Oblivion losing its subtle investment in Cognosa.
Oh, cool.
Oh boy.
So it was my way of tying some things together, but not making it, aha! The bad guy the whole time has still been the Chained Oblivion. I wanted it to stand on its own, but still be kind of subtly influenced by.
So it's like creative human subconscious gone horribly awry.
Yeah, that's kind of how I believe it operates. It doesn't.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Was there ever a time you guys thought that the Traveler was
please go on.
Influenced by the Chained Oblivion as well?
The Traveler?
Yeah.
The Traveler.
Did you guys always know that it was going to be Artie?
The Traveler has come.
No.
Well,
I feel like I had an inkling. I had an inkling. I wasn't afraid it was connected to the Chained Oblivion, though.
Okay.
I was
Like a
more
bad guy
shocked that
created as
Artie
a
was connected
semi-good
to
entity.
Sprinkle.
I didn't think it was the Chained Oblivion.
Than
I
anything.
definitely thought it was something nefarious.
Yes, nefarious, yes.
Like there was an evil
I also thought that
force had
Artie
been sort of
would have had a
puppeting
much
you
bigger
your whole
impact
life, and
in
we
the
were gonna
final battles.
Figure out it was.
I thought
it was
Artie was
evil
gonna come
and
in
fight it away, and then free
like
you. but no,
like clutch and like do
just
something insane.
doofus.
We didn't need him. It didn't have to happen, but I thought Artie was definitely going to become a
That we
bigger,
missed that I wanted to ask.
impact.
When did you decide to have
Here we go. Sprinkle Artie.
be inhabited? Occasionally by Artagan.
Yeah, see that I did not
expect. Were there other NPCs that were also secretly Artagan?
A bit.
Okay.
That's a good question.
Oh shit!
I like it.
The introduction of a Crimson Weasel, which doesn't exist in D&D lore, was intentional from the very beginning to be kind of Artagan's anchor to her.
What if we hadn't bought him? You just knew.
Oh, I knew you were going to buy that. There was no way you were
What
going
if
to
we didn't buy him? He's like, no, that was a guarantee.
And if you didn't buy it, and this is part what I had planned with.
Guaranteed
you
were buying
it would have ridden away, and like an hour later, it had
would've
stowed
just
away in
came.
your bag.
There you
like,
go.
It would have endured,
Even if you didn't take it, it would have stowed away in our
That's
purse.
the Vex coming through on this. That's campaign bleed.
The lore takeaway.
Your final takeaway of Sprinkle is what a waste of cash. After everything he's been through.
Immortal, stuck by you the
We
whole time.
wasted 12 gold.
But yeah, so it was
12
it was the
gold
idea of
wasted.
like, because of the unique relationship with Artagan or the Traveler, he couldn't be around all the time, and it didn't make sense for him to be continuously focused on
And it would have
you
been too
because
on
he
the
had a lot of
nose,
things
'cause
going on
part
with
of me is
everyone else,
thinking,
so he
like,
kind of taken into the fold and
it
kind of
was
dealing with his
crimson,
own crisis of
and Artie is
the mess
like
he had made
green
unintentionally.
mostly.
That was kind of his.
Although red-haired.
Here's your.
But I feel like green would have been
uh,
too on the nose. It might
kind
have
of walkie-talkie
brought it to our
band where I can
attention.
just, like,
I'm
check it
happy
on
with the
an
way
app
it
and
went
be like, oh,
down.
she's okay.
I like surprises.
and occasionally
Mysteries
come
are
through.
good.
So yeah, and I was
Marisha is
planning to have more NPCs
laughing her
kind of
ass
show
off.
up as Artagan references, but a lot of time I just forgot about them in the middle of the scene because that's what happens when you're
Just like
you're
Brink.
playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there were a couple of NPCs throughout the game.
Was
I think,
Oh shit.
The Minotaur.
I think there was a
Artagan is strong, but will never go full force
where
because
that was
that's
like
no
green
fun.
eyes, red hair.
It's probably the right
and
way
it was
to go.
the innkeeper in Shady
I know
Creek
my
Run
players,
who was
says Matt
Artagan, kind
Mercer.
of guiding you towards
Artie
Caduceus.
is like AI in
in
Angels
that
in the
area. Another
Outfield. Or
individual
Al.
with,
I'm sorry, I
pale
thought I said
skin, red
AI.
hair,
Can't
green
help.
eyes, who was very interested in what you were doing
For
and
the big
guiding you
ones.
in the
That was when we were kidnapped.
Correct.
And I think when
Was
we were watching
Al?
that at home, I was like, I think that's Artagan. I think that's the Traveler.
I'm assuming Al in Angels in the Outfield was
Yeah, I was
Christopher
like, I
Lloyd.
pregnant.
I haven't seen Angels in the Outfield since I was a
It's
child.
The 3 hours of sleep
I've seen
we're getting every
it,
day.
but I'm not kidding. I don't
Yeah, I
think
didn't
I've
tend
seen
to
it
read
since
him into,
I was like 10 years old.
NPCs more than that, but just
I
never
just
got
remember
around to it.
Christopher
I think
Lloyd
he
was
fine.
in it. I'm pretty
It worked
sure.
out as a fun reveal.
How about a fan question?
Fan question. Rolling natural 20. Where's the natural 20?
12.
19. Natural 20. Natural 20. Is it not? Two natural 20s. Two natural 20s.
No.
Guys, I don't care if 8 people are rolling. That is the most natural 20s.
Oh, well.
Regardless.
How about you get the first
Like,
one?
oh,
and
there's
you
a
get
lot
the
of
second
times
one?
we're all
That
rolling.
feels good.
There is like 7 or 8 natural
I'll take this
20s,
one
and
from
we're
Marisha
barely rolling.
from,
We're rolling for questions.
Alexander Dean,
That is
underscore,
record-breaking. Natural 20s,
IG.
based per roll. If we did a base per roll
I
scenario,
don't know. There's a lot happening there.
I think there's the most natural 20s we've ever seen.
Yeah.
How do you envision Bo moving forward with the Cobalt Soul? Would you picture her taking a leadership position, or would she want to continue adventuring and exploring?
I love it.
Well, Alexander, you sound super hot.
Thank you.
Alexander. It kind of sounded like Percy.
Yeah, I kind of envision Bo
Had a bit of a Percy sound to it, I
as
feel
now that
like.
she's kind of gone through all of this with the Mighty Nine and kind of gone through this kind of coming of age journey, because you know me, I love my coming of age stories. That she's kind of in her Saturn Rising years now.
Saturn
where
Rising. Yes, my
she's kind
favorite
of like,
question.
Oh, no, this is what I want to do. This is my career path. Like when someone gets out of like, fuck this day job, I hate it, and now they're like, it's no longer a job, now it's a career. And I think Bo is willing to like go in on that for a little bit. So,
all right,
I mean,
like
even
it.
in the pirate arc, I was like, I don't know, maybe she'll still
I
like
totally
adventure
get
and
what
be,
she's
like,
saying,
loosely
too.
involved with the soul. But I think after everything and like the corruption in the empire that we want to try and seed out, I think for a while she's gonna be a full working class, shoulder pads, stilettos,
Shoulder
pencil skirt.
pads.
She's gonna be a career woman. Amazing.
Made a great pirate.
Top-end expositor.
Carly Simon, working girl.
Yes. Yeah. Well, kind of.
Get her a perm.
Kind
Carly
of.
Simon,
She would
working
look
girl.
great with a perm,
yeah.
but still like, you know, maybe like the half
perm.
up thing. but a poof.
No, it's
Let
terrible.
the
That sounds
river
terrible.
run. Look at Travis. Travis
No.
singing
Well,
up
Ash
there.
and I were talking a little bit,
singing
kind
his
of at the
heart
end of
out.
the game, and
We had
like,
some textings.
Yeah,
some
Did you?
text.
We did.
Fair.
Just
We
yeah,
had
we're
some
planning
textings.
of what our, it's
Wedding?
It's
The wedding of
obviously
Bo
ending
and
the
Yasha?
campaign. We were together,
Yeah.
and seeing where would we go with that. And Marisha being like, what does Yasha want? And what does Bo want?
That's hilarious.
And I think,
To text about
we talked
what
about
is
it. And
where do
Bo
we
wanting
take
to
our
be a career
relationship?
woman,
Where
and
do
going
we
hard
take
with
our
Cobalt Soul.
D&D relationship?
And I think just Yasha being supportive, which we kind of talked about at the end of the game. I think Yasha was really tired and just tired of fighting and sort of, getting to the place of just being like, I just kind of want.
Yasha
wanna
was just
chill
going to
out
be
for
like a
while.
yeah,
chill at home
We discussed some other stuff.
character,
which
like
maybe-
just take care of the
I don't know.
house.
yeah. We'll see.
We'll see.
it? Tell us.
This is the time, please. I want to know.
Yes, what else are we going to find out exactly? This is the time to tell us.
Yes.
Yeah, Yasha embraces her domestic side.
Yeah, she wants to be like a
Yeah.
housewife
I was like,
or whatever you
will
want to
you-
call it.
It's going to be a lot of long hours. This new job.
Yeah, Bo's going to be the
Really
working
dramatic. I
girl.
might be
That's it.
coming home
And Yasha,
late,
take care of the
but
house.
If you'll be there for me,
Yeah.
keep a plate
I
of
mean,
food.
really think
she
Yasha
literally
would
just
be
said,
there for her.
Yasha
Yeah, I really
is
think
done.
that we just
Yasha's
went
like,
with it, but
I
that's
am
amazing.
exhausted.
Are
I don't
Are
want
you
to
comfortable
murder
living in
anymore.
Rexentrum? I know it's not, Would you move there for me? I want to talk this with you. It's a big job opportunity.
We talked about a lot of it.
Yeah.
I think there was also another thing that I was like,
We talked about this is
toying with
hilarious.
for, I
I
think-
love it. I mean, it is funny. I would probably
we
do
were
the
kinda
same
funny
thing.
texting about it with other stuff, but I think
If I had a friend who I
eventually,
had this
feel
kind of
like Yasha
3-year
probably
bond
would have
with,
approached Bo at some point, or together they would have decided of maybe we want to adopt.
Yeah.
I think being the orphan maker was kind of a weird thing for her, and I think she wanted to sort of like repair that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was something we kind of discussed of like, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
In so many ways, we were like, should we adopt Kiri?
Kiri, we never got to see Kiri. We never
Well,
got to see
Maybe
Kiri.
Kiri is happy with the Schusters and her life in Hupperdook.
Happy there.
The
We don't want to
Schusters,
uproot her
yes.
life. She's just about to
We
start middle
never
school.
got to talk or mention to Kiri, to mention of Kiri, I should say. And yes, I did see, we did hit 75 likes.
But I mean,
We just hit
it's just
75
like the two of
likes.
us to be like, what do
We
we
have
want?
hit bonus
Like,
bonus time.
what do we
Keep
want
liking
for,
and
like,
subscribing,
anything,
everybody.
Anything.
I just
Like,
want you to be
Can we
supportive,
hit
you
the
know? Just wanna be
100?
supportive.
Do we hit the 100 for the third time? It's like once a year, pretty much. We hit the 100 likes once a year. Could this be the third time we hit 100 likes
Better parent than
on
what
a
you
short
were
live
exposed
stream?
to.
I mean, we're in 2.5
If Horde goes and
hours.
tries to fix the
That's
orphanage, maybe
the quickest
we're like,
we've hit
we'll
75,
take two.
I feel like.
Yeah, we'll
Orphan taker, yeah.
Orphan Taker. See, I still feel like
Taker.
I feel like the Orphan Taker sounds
Yeah.
worse.
I feel like
The Orphan
I feel
Maker
like that's the unexpected
is like
path,
bad,
but I feel
like
there's
the
a part
Orphan
of Yasha
Taker
that's
means
like, I'm gonna be a
you
mama
kill
now.
or kidnap
Like, just
orphans.
take everybody and take care.
I don't know. I still I
big fan
like
just
the
like
play
the-
on words, but I also
on
feel
top of
like
your
it's
guys'
almost as
relationship,
bad
like the Bo
sounding.
and Caleb kind of sunsetting as a team to take on the corruption, the assembly. Because that's the thing.
Not
like,
a chance in
I
hell.
thought about
Save
how far we would
the
explore
hurdles
that in our
for
game.
campaign 1. Just hit
And like we've all talked a little
Yasha's.
bit like on an independent basis.
Yasha's
about,
like
what you wanted
friendship
out of the
ended
game,
with
where things
pain.
were going,
House
you know,
and
what your
garden is
characters'
my new
interests
best
were,
friend.
and what
House
things
and
you wanted to
garden.
resolve.
Home and garden, isn't it? Home and
And,
garden.
I
House
knew
and
that
garden. I think it's home
the
and garden.
immediate element of your
And
arc,
I'm
the
not
constant
sure about that, but I
fear
think it
of
is.
Trent Ikathon was going to conclude to a certain degree sooner than later. And so the moment you guys took those necklaces off, I was like,
Yep.
this is gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be a
but
thing.
the rest of that job, I was
It's
thinking
gonna
about if
be a
would that be a
thing.
worthy post arc to pursue? But so much of the group, the characters had kind of already gone through like major arcs, and it kind of gotten to a point of comfort and rest and completion with their story.
Well, we've got
and to go after
about
the Empire
7
and
minutes
Cerberus
left
Assembly,
before
is such
bonus
a big
time is
goal
over.
that would take a lot of time
Like first
and a lot
bonus
of
time.
careful bureaucracy.
Yeah.
it would have felt
Keep
weird
liking
to
and
try and
subscribing,
shoehorn
everybody.
that
We're
in
going to
as an
do a
arc where
shot
only some
at
of
the
group
end of
is really
bonus time,
heavily, like firely
which is
invested
in
It's really a
7
Bo and
minutes.
Caleb thing.
Yeah,
and then we're going to
we're
roll.
filing so much paperwork, and we're going to court
Although,
hearings. It's super.
I feel like we've
bureaucratic.
lost likes.
Yeah, getting permits.
I feel
you know
like we
how
have
tough
lost
that
likes,
is.
people.
Go play zoning.
What's happening here?
But I like that as like a sunsetting gesture of, awful. As this major story comes to a close, their story just begins to the intense process of really tearing things down from the inside. And who knows, maybe one day we'll want to come back and explore something like that down the road, but I don't know. I thought it was a fun beat that you both ended that on.
I dig it. I dug it. I thought it was great. Better home and garden. That's it. Better home and garden.
10 years later, and see where things are at.
I got one on resolving. The only
I think we hit 75 during The Sims. Oh, is that maybe what it was? Maybe I'm thinking of The Sims. It's possible.
Was that fucking
Yeah, we
white
lost a
dragon?
couple likes.
Skeleton?
I don't know if people are
Like,
playing games.
Can you tell
Sometimes
us
when
now
we
what
hit
the
75,
glowing
people
shit
take
in
one
his-
away
in
and
his
then
cave
put it
was?
back like at the end. Some people might have took likes away for the fun of it. But we have shot back down under 75.
Correct. The
Keep liking, everybody.
Galaton's
Like
lair, like a lot
and
of Dragon's lairs, are just
subscribe.
collections of
We
things
might
that
even
they've
hit 100. Who
either
knows?
stolen victoriously or recovered that seem to have worth and interest to them. And as you know, Geladon hunts to the north. around
Geladon
Icewood
hunts
Cross,
to the north.
and,
How did we lose
that
likes?
various
It might
region.
have been when I
So at some
jumped
point in the
accounts.
past, Geladon
Ninja Master, I
had
did not see you jump in. Hello to the great Ninja
uncovered,
Master.
whether
Ninja,
intentionally
you're getting the
or
next shot.
in
We're
passing,
taking it in 6 minutes.
Some Aeorian
6 minutes.
weapon that still had some functionality to it, and
Keep
brought
liking.
it back to her lair.
I think we
and
can hit
kept it as like a
100.
trophy.
I think we can
decoration,
hit 100
and if
likes.
anything she really
Keep
felt was an
liking.
intense threat.
Pouring
maybe
the shot
try
for
and
Ninja. Ninja's gonna get
see
this
if
one.
it's functional.
Ninja how's life?
But namely, just a decoration.
How big was it?
Hue lights.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
It was two big purple pulsing things, right?
Yeah, two big lights. And it was like encased in mostly ice because the whole layer is under ice. But beneath it, you could see like this
I have to
metallic
cook dinner
structure with the
soon.
pulsing lights
We're
behind
finished
it. That was just
cooking.
this-
Were they like those
Roast is
proximity things
in
at the end of the campaign?
the
It was off?
crock.
You got too close to it?
Well,
no, they were two parts of like an arcane.
the
skin.
roast can wait.
Not
We
not
are
unlike the one that
watching
you guys saw in the Happy
history
Fun Ball,
right
but
now.
like a larger siege
Star.
version of that.
The roast has to wait.
Would we have been able to like
Lights in the
put it together and use it against her? Yeah.
If you had somehow found, if you had somehow investigated deeply what it was about, come up with a clever way to get her out of her lair in time to figure it out and set it up, then yeah, you could have totally used it against her.
God.
That was
Dang.
That was not going to happen.
That was never
No, we
gonna
were in
Did
too much
Laura's
terror
already
and
ask her?
panic
Did Laura already
to
ask a
ever-
question about Kiri?
Yeah.
Ancient Dragons.
Was
live
that at the
forever.
beginning?
We'll know about
and I
this.
missed it. She
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
I started to
Just will
type
just be
the
like,
question and
"Let's
typed
go.
Jester before realizing what I'd
White
said.
dragon for no
Yeah.
Can I ask my fan question that I rolled a 20 for?
There we go.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay,
20,
good, 'cause I really
the
wanna
other
ask this.
20.
Matt.
Here we go.
From at Jason Lee 007.
Jason
on
Lee.
Instagram.
Is it actual Jason
What
Lee?
would have happened
Brody?
if the party had released Halas? Because I've been dying to know this one too.
Honestly, I might like this one
That's
the
a good
most as
question.
well.
Halas.
Halas.
Purely selfish entity that would have been
Happy Fun
thankful
Ball.
that he was released, whether it be in his body or whatever body he took.
Yeah, would he have tried to take over one of ours?
Oh yeah, until he got back to his body, and then after the body was gone, who knows what would have happened?
I like it.
Whether he like would have transitioned into the automaton
I
that you
like
had
it.
created or something else. He would have found a body and gone off, but Halas would have just gone. Halas would have been a campaign 3 problem. Yeah.
You love doing that. We keep making it not happen.
Halas would have
That's
been a
okay.
campaign
That's okay.
3 problem.
That's part of like there.
I
what is that?
really
Meaning
enjoyed the
it's
Happy
a
Fun
creature
Ball.
that has no
Halas.
interest in what you're doing here. And from Halas's perspective, you let him free. He's like, cool, thank you. I don't know who the fuck you are, but I have more things to deal with right
Yeah,
now.
been gone
Bye.
for thousands of years, or 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that becomes a possible antagonist force in the next
And
campaign.
Halas still exists, right? Just
Yeah.
is locked
Yeah.
away,
It's locked away in a pocket plane.
in another dimension that no one knows about. And
We just
I
left
was
him
just
on
gonna
hold.
say,
Campaign
I
in that-
wasn't
in that ball,
exactly
by the way.
sure.
That's amazing.
Oh my
But
god.
I'm thinking
That's like getting
Halas
locked in a TARDIS.
Halas
I'm like,
could
I can
still-
spend 100 years.
Be
guys only
something
saw
later
28,
on down the
25%.
road.
do you know all of the rest of the ball? Like, did you have it mapped out in your head?
I have the loose structure mapped out, like just like a very, very loose idea, and then I detailed out the area that you guys were focused on.
Yeah.
And had just enough where like if you began to wander off that path, I could roll with it off the seat of my pants. But I haven't had time to
the ball is
nor a reason to flesh out the
glorious.
entire thing.
Happy
but who
fun
knows?
ball.
Maybe if
the whole world, like
again,
you could have an entire
since
campaign
artifacts tend to trade hands
focused around the
often
happy
through
fun
time, maybe
ball.
there'll be opportunities in future games.
Would you want to speak to why? Maybe you want to keep this secret in case you could use it later. But why he was in the gem at that moment? Like, did he whoopsie himself in there? Was it?
I think that's what you said. He had accidentally.
Yeah. That's what I remember.
When you're a creature that is that powerful and you have created your own domain on this level, there sometimes the simplest things get overlooked. And this was purely as part of this intent to create this ritual that required this specific kind of gem. And he went and had it custom made. He's focusing on all this stuff. He was like, I got this, built this thing. I now have this domain of this chained astral dreadnought. Within here is the perfect hidden chamber for me to go ahead and create this ritual to further expand my domain and capabilities. All right, for this ritual, I need the specific gem. I'm going to hire this person to make this gem. All right, I'm going to focus on this. And somebody that he really pissed off, somebody that was deeply against Halas.
Very cool, though.
Got wind of what he had commissioned and essentially had this gem cursed in a very, very hard to read way. So when he tried to complete his ritual, instead it magic jarred him. Nice. It pulled his soul out of his body and imprisoned it in this
was
gem.
that person?
And he was just stuck there until somebody managed to find the ball and then wander into an astral
Can we ask this
dreadnought
question?
and check
Does
on
Matt
like you do?
tell us?
Yeah.
Probably
Like
not.
you do.
Us.
So
Yeah,
I'm
shocked no one's asking who this
thing
person
before
is.
we move on, because I know we're getting along on this chunk, but I feel like it's just too big of a thing to not address.
Okay.
Is Ford and the intimidation
We
of
hit
holding
75
the
likes again,
sword
by the
over
way, so we're
kiln,
into
and
double
all of that
overtime.
connecting with Caduceus and
Cheers
the Star
to Ninja
Razor,
Master. I was
and
out
piecing, it was
LARPing,
kind of
so
like
I
a
wasn't
cool
able to jump
combination of the two of you coming
till about 10
together,
minutes ago.
but
Will Ninja?
I don't know. I think I'm curious.
Cheers to
what would've
Ninja Master.
happened
Thank you
if
for
that
jumping in.
all
We are at
backfired.
exactly
Like if
75.
he had actually intimidated.
So we'll do double bonus
Ukatoa
time, double
instead.
overtime.
Yeah.
Starting now. Cheers.
Is there a chance that Ford could have continued with
That'd have even
Ukatoa?
worked. Yeah,
Would have even worked?
It wouldn't have worked in the way that you would have scared Ukatoa down and been like, "Yes, sir, Ford, whatever you want, sir." Ukatoa's not going to
Keep liking.
It. But I think with a high
If
enough
we hit
intimidation
100
check, it
likes,
would have gained
is it possible?
his
I don't know.
respect
Because we're not
for
going to
the
probably do
will
a whole 30
that you
minutes.
exhibited in the face of something that he knows is much larger than you
We're
are.
going to go.
So if anything, it would have made
till-
him go.
I think
and
it's a
so I'm
good
thinking
place
in
to
the moment, if he'd
stop,
been like,
basically. Because we're now
Okay.
into
Bring
overtime
your powers back.
times 2. We already
Now
did
I
another
really
30
wanna
minutes.
Yeah.
And it would have because at that
It
moment
goes so
the situation
fast.
was so
We did the
strained
30-minute bonus
that,
already.
While
Like,
there
I
was
feel
still
like it
kind of
goes by
his
so
hooks
fast.
in Ford, there was enough of
long
that
dead,
kind of, we
ancient,
don't like each other,
long
are we going
dead.
to break up type of a feel.
Dinner,
that it was just enough room for the wild
can't
mother
wait.
to kind of swoop
I don't
in
want shoe
and
leather.
like, child, I've got you.
I understand.
If
That's
if
totally
you had done that
totally-
and kind of really pushed that intensity with
Like,
Ukatoa, Ukatoa probably would have wanted to
get it.
keep you even
I don't know.
more.
I'm brain farting out the
and
word I wanted
the
to
process to the wild mother and conversely to becoming a paladin would have been a much harder process of now trying to
I'm
absolve
happy
yourself of
that we got
Ukatoa.
so
Right
many
now,
people
Ukatoa
in
is
today's
less
live
interested in you as a
stream.
person
Like I said,
and more
continue to like,
interested in
subscribe if
what
you
carry.
haven't. You're
That's
all
fucked up,
wonderful.
man.
Key to freedom.
I'm a great person. No, I think that's totally.
Oh.
If he'd gotten his powers back, I don't think I would have done the Wild Mother Paladin thing at all. Like he just wanted them back. The first time was in Jorhas, and I told you at the break when
Jorhas.
the powers were gone, and I like ran outside and was looking in the rain puddle or whatever. I was like, "What if I just leave?" And you were like, "Do you want to?" And I was like, "Kinda." And he was like, "Then do it, and we'll see where it goes." Because I was just gonna like go put the third orb in and summon Ukatoa and get my fucking powers back.
Yeah.
And it was just like a matter of what I can't remember what happened after the break, but like they came back relatively fast that first
Back
time.
up
It was like
to
a threat,
75.
like a shot
Yeah, I
across the
think
bow, and I was like,
sometimes people
oh,
will
shit,
like
I need to have a
unlike
backup
and
plan
then
if
like
that happens
again.
again.
Like
Like,
we'll
what-
hit 75.
what do I do to
I
try
mean,
and
you know,
leverage
it's all
my powers
fine
back?
because at
And
the end of the day,
it didn't
we're
work
still
at all.
at
But I was
75.
also like, I don't like this position.
But I like
fuck this. This
occasionally
feels
I'll
sucks.
see some people
Yeah, let's
like
just wipe the
unlike
slate.
and then like again
Yeah.
towards the end.
It was fascinating.
I mean,
create some
that's still,
drama.
Like,
It's all
reflect
good
on the
fun.
entire campaign
I don't
of the
mind.
show, like one of the coolest things. And just, I don't know. I think I just
Success,
the balls
well
of
done,
throwing
but
away
no
your class
shoe leather.
is just
ever
fucking
so mildly
amazing.
tough for
And I
a
don't know if I could
change.
do it.
I like
into a
It's
little.
tough.
I mean, like we always leave those little holes in our
I
backstory
love
for him to come in
things
and do his thing,
cooked
and so I was just
overdone.
like,
I
why don't
love
you just
like
wipe
a
it?
beef jerky tough kind of
Then see what happens.
taste, chewy.
That's great.
But it
Best
depends.
purchase
like my
ever.
steak, I like my steak
I love the
rare.
red button, even if
I like
it
my
means
steak
delete.
rare
So
and
proud of
bloody.
you for-
But if it's like
Oh,
a
it's- well, I mean,
roast
like,
or like
it's
bacon
the secret gift
or
of
some other
Caduceus
type
clay,
of
and
meat,
he
I like it
explained
like
to you at
beef
one
jerky.
point of how fate works, of like the notion of like of watering the tree because you know what kind of tree it is, and maybe it's gonna. Which, if you actually like think about it for 20 minutes, is basically Clay going, "This is a D&D game." Like literally, he's just explaining that this is a D&D game. So
I want
if you
my
believe
pot
in that
roast
kind of
to
fate
be
in this world, you understand.
cut by
It's
a
like Animal
fork.
Man. You know exactly that you're in
I
a
mean,
comic
it's
book.
also nice. I mean,
So it was
I'll
like,
take it
oh, a
anyway.
broken sword. Well,
I can
clearly
get.
I need that.
Like I like it
Yeah,
when it's
was
like
just-
melts like butter in your mouth kind of thing too.
Clearly, this is
It
important.
depends on my mood, I guess.
Or else it wouldn't have been. For
I think it's
sale.
more when I'm on the
Like
run or I'm in a
vampires.
rush. I like it where I can just grab it. Like if
Okay,
it melts
have
in
to
your
move
mouth
on 'cause there's a lot
like
to get
that,
to. But
it's harder to
first-
eat on the run.
Mika Burton spills the
Mika
tea
Burton.
on her time in the campaign.
Mika
Rule
Burton.
number 1, evil dies. Rule number 2, roll the clip.
All right, there we go. We got some Mika Burton.
Hello, I am here with undoubtedly the fan and cast favorite guest of campaign 2, Mika Burton. Hello, Mika.
Hi, Brian.
Let's talk about Rainy, your character from campaign 2 that you later
Also-
named your cute little puppy after.
Very often was the
tell the folks at home
hostess
about your
on
inspiration behind her.
Talks.
Hilariously, my
Was
inspiration
it?
was
What was it
just,
called?
I don't
It wasn't
want
Talks
to
Mocking.
play
What was
something that I
when they had the
always play in
animated show?
Dungeons
They
and
had
Dragons.
her host
So let's
something.
play a race I've never played, a class I've never played, a personality I've never played, and an alignment I've never played, and see what happens. which
Across the board, yeah.
Across the board. In hindsight, was hilarious because I was nervous as hell, obviously, because it's Critical Role, and I was like,
And she is
let's
LeVar
just
Burton's daughter, those of
go
you who do
outside
not
the
know.
box. Let's just do
The great
something I've
LeVar
never done
Burton
before.
of
And then
Reading Rainbow
day
and
of, I
Star
sat down
Trek
at the table
fame.
And I was like, fuck, I don't know what
Yep.
I'm doing.
Yep.
But I think it was fun to flex my role-playing muscles and do something super, super different and try an ASMR, try a druid, you know? It was awesome.
And also, too, sitting there at that table with those nerves, knowing that everyone there has also felt that moment.
We have
Usually,
also
like, the
dropped
first
below
5
75
episodes
again.
Of a
Like
campaign
and
or whatever,
subscribe.
Just like, what am I?
We
what is
need
my
one
character?
more
What
to
am I
be where
doing?
we're
Why
at,
did I-
or we're
Yeah.
gonna have
So
this erased
hard
from our
because
minds.
I thought I was only going to have one episode. So I was like, how do I get comfortable and used to who Rini is right now? I have
Mhm.
5 minutes, go.
Mhm.
And I think that was the most nerve-wracking part of it. I honestly, like, what she sounded like came to me at the table.
Yeah.
You know,
I
what
learned
she
her
personified
lineage
came to me
watching
kind of at the table, 'cause I
narrative
did a lot
telephone.
of backstory and a lot of work on who Rini was, but I thought that if I got too into my head, I would fuck up and then everybody would hate me.
I
So
forget
was
if
like, some of it
she
has to be spontaneous.
mentioned it or if
Yeah.
I
Don't pre-plan
realized it from her
everything.
first name.
Do you have a
or
favorite
her
moment
last name.
from the episodes that
I
you
might
were
have
on
known
that-
from her
that
last
sticks out?
name.
And if
Or
if
figured
there's
it
a
out,
diff-
looked
if
it up. I
Rini
can't
has a
remember.
different favorite moment,
Somebody
then,
might have
then
told
share
me.
that with us as well.
I honestly can't
Our
remember how
moments
this
are
all
the exact
unraveled.
same,
Okay.
Which was sleeping with Bo.
Okay, yeah, I figured.
Yeah,
Sleeping with Bo.
I knew since I've known Marisha, I was like, I know that Marisha plays
And
a disaster
instead,
lesbian, and the only thing I
Mika
had in
got
my
3
mind was, like,
episodes. Adam is
Rini's
correct.
bi. I'm sure Marisha plays a hot character. I really hope that they get along.
Uh-huh.
And through the 3 episodes, we kind of naturally got along, and Rini's disaster bisexualness ended up crushing on Bo.
Yeah.
And so I think that
Disastrousness
having all of the
bisexual.
stars aligned on
Yes.
my last episode
Disaster
that Bo returned her
bisexualness.
advances, even if it was just for one sweet night, I was like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
If I could complete anything in my stint at Critical Role, it would be fucking Bo. You know?
Is there anything about Rini that
Oh my God, that is-
didn't
that
get
is-
revealed
that
during
was
the
my
game
goal.
that you want the
My
cast
goal
and the fans
was banging a
to
fictional
know?
character.
I think it kind of got more revealed during talks, but I
Mhm.
want everybody, especially the cast and everybody playing those characters, to know that the Mighty Nine changed Rini 100%. Like,
Her
she
dad-
came out of the gate with this black
To
and
say
white
speech
morality,
to text
follow
is
your
weird right now.
God and listen to no one else and this and that. And just in the 3 episodes of hanging out with them, knowing how they think, feeling attracted to Bo, knowing that, like, also seeing Caleb and feeling like there's something behind his sad eyes, because she's very intuitive, and having that
Joke's on her,
talk
there
with her
isn't.
angel that things are okay. It's okay to.
I love when
not
they just
completely
pop up
follow
in the
him to a
corner
T.
because
She
it
makes some morally
blends
poor
in
decisions
so
now. Like, in my
perfectly,
mind,
and it's
she
quite
went
hilarious.
on to probably do some things that she may not have done before meeting them. You know, she doesn't think all evil deserves death necessarily, but she does want to, you know, still continue to fight crime and do good.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. What do you hope Rini's legacy is?
I mean, other than fucking Bo.
She's
I
quite
hope her
obsessed with that.
legacy is just kind of like this bright spot of sunshine in an otherwise, you know, can be kind of harsh campaign.
Yeah.
That, you know, I always see people
She
drawing
has a
Rini with
very
sunflowers.
pink
and she has
room.
the sparkles.
Her chair,
And she's very
I mean, there's
peppy, and
nothing
she has a
wrong with
high-pitched
it.
voice, and she's
I just am
blonde,
noticing
you
I
know?
noticed
So
the chair was
I think
pink,
that
and then I looked beyond it,
in
and I'm like, oh my god, a
our
lot of
literal
pink
world
and
of sadness and
peach,
darkness, and the
orangey kind of
campaign's
colors
world of
going on.
sadness and darkness. I hope that Rini was
Very
this
bright,
sparkly sunflower of
bright, sparkly sunfire,
gay energy
sunflower.
that
Yeah.
brought the smiles to people's faces. And I don't know. Also, she took on a dragon and lived, so like that's a dope legacy. Like
That's true.
she is. I don't want to toot my own horn, but Rini's a big part of the reason that they survived that encounter.
I think somebody probably wrote a song about her.
I would hope so.
It's canon. It's in there.
Canon. They boned. Let the girls bone.
Let
Hashtag
the
it's
girl.
canon,
That
they
should be the
boned.
name of the song. Cannon they boned. Cannon they boned. I'm thinking we'll stop there because we also drop below 75, and I want to leave enough left for next week. So that was an extra like 10 minutes, and we also dropped back below 75. So like it was a bonus 10 minutes that I don't know if we even achieved. I don't know. Either way, what do you guys think of that? You think that's good? That'll leave 15 minutes plus 10, 25. That'll leave an hour and 25 minutes for next week. Because if we start Arc 5, I feel like it's going to go at least to another 25, 30 minutes. And then we're down to like an hour or less for next week. But here is my question. First off, like and subscribe if you have not, because we have dipped below at 75. Okay, y'all, I'll see you next week. Should I? This is just a question. I'm curious. Either way is fine with me. But should I finish this in a YouTube and a Patreon video? Or is it like too good of a thing, being as it is the final thing of campaign 2? Should I save it for next week? We'll only have like an hour. Well, I mean, we'll have about the same. We'll have about an hour and 25, hour and 30 minutes. You know, we talk and bullshit and stuff. And maybe we could jump into other things. If we hit the 50 likes, we'll jump into bonus time. We'll maybe start campaign 1 or something. Should I just leave it like that and have no YouTube or Patreon video? Or should we end it all in a Patreon and YouTube video? Just stream it. Okay, I was going to say, I feel like this is something we should watch in its, you know, whole. Like continue it. Do not paywall this. Stream it. Okay, I'd rather stream it, to be honest with you all. I'd rather stream it because it just adds work for me. I'd have to watch a Patreon hour and a YouTube video and then still live stream next week. So it definitely saves me a lot of time. It saves me an hour and 25 minutes not having to do it the other way. I just didn't know if you guys were like, yeah, it's not necessary. You could throw it up on the channel and we'll start campaign 1 next week or something like that. Everyone seems like streaming is the way to go. It honestly saves me a lot of time. We'll just start from here next week. 246.24. So 246.24. That's why I kind of want to end it too. It wasn't just because I don't know what is happening. We went back to 73 likes. So I don't know why we're going back to 75. It could be because people jump between accounts and YouTube discounted likes. But I'm thinking either way, we're finishing it in the live stream. So might as well save this for next week, have an hour and 25 minutes. That'll give us a nice little chunk. You know, we're going to talk before and at the end. And maybe if we do bonus time, we'll jump into something else, or campaign 1 we'll jump into. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Ninja, he didn't notice what I said earlier. He's going to be so lost when he resumes next week, LOL. What did I miss? Instead, you got 3. If you let it linger after the Arc 5 logo, Marisha will say something funny. Should I watch it? Ready? We're gonna go. We're gonna go. We're gonna do it.
Just everyone's trophy, just crossing them off my list.
Oh, geez.
Just talk about me some more.
I like it. There you go, Adam. That was for you. We're going to stop right there now. 2:46:38. We could even restart. But Adam, that was for you. Adam, that was for you. Because I do read the comments. Do it. I did it. Check Adam's message. It did make sense. Because if we did start that, I would have probably realized, but it would have took me a minute to understand what we were doing. Worth it, Adam. You win the day. Everybody, I'm going to say goodnight. I got to edit up the rest of Severance Season 2, Episode 1. If you're interested, Ninja, whoever else is still here, I am almost done editing Season 2, Episode 1 of Severance. I have binge-watched all of Season 1. It's only on Patreon. I couldn't edit it up. I didn't have time with everything else. But that will be up before the football games. The football games start in less than an hour, 45 minutes. The Chiefs are on 4:30 playoffs. It is divisional playoffs this week. Next week, conference playoffs, and then the Super Bowl. We're almost done with football. So everybody, I'm going to say goodnight. Colvin, Adam Espinosa, Vero G, Michael and Lisa Pocky, my moderators, the Dude JB as well. I haven't seen it in a while, but I hope the dude's doing all right. I think I said Adam Espinosa, Ninja Master, my good friend Neil. We have Star, the Chimiki Pero, Little Power Monster, M. Gormley, Hollymac79. I think I just said my good friend Neil, but I am literally losing my mind and don't even know what I say. Colvin is in the chat. Ooh, we had Moonlit Luther. I did not see you. You should have gotten a shot. But next time, jump in the chat next time. I don't know how I missed that new person. Oh my God, they were there for a while. Campaign 2 is my favorite of theirs. Is that Moonlit or Moonlight Luther? I can't believe I missed you. I'm very upset at myself. I'm going to cry about it more later. Jeff Lundy jumped in again for a little bit. Haven't seen Jeff in a while, I feel like. Reverse Unicorn, Patricia, Forrest the Runner. Even though I didn't see them, I just thought of their name. If I missed you, Amy France, David France, I hope you guys are doing well. Callisto Warrior Queen, the Northern Lion Hiking Viking. Who did I miss? I'm sure I missed some of you. If I didn't, I don't know. You know, I love you guys. And is it Friday yet? Because next Friday we will reconvene and finish this and then start campaign 1. Love you all. Have a glorious